Today we have my beautiful brother, Juan Salvador, who is an iconic character in Byron, an iconic musician. You have recited here for a very long time, and he meets people from every corner, every part of the world. I shouldn't say corner because somebody might be angry. I'm sorry. The world's promoted as
We
globe.
live on a ball.
Yeah, a little ball. I shouldn't say corner. Where's the corner coming from? Anyway, so we are going to chat about so many things. Music, life, whatever to do with art. And you are a very professional musician and also one of Australia's most respected sound engineer. And with the journey that one is exposed to it's amazing. It's an amazing magical journey for me to be able to describe in words, because he's interacting and working with everyone from around the world, big names, and yet he has an ability to stay on a common ground with everybody, and without the ego, and teaches me a lot of humility. And I'm really grateful that I have a brother in Australia. I'm very grateful. And welcome,
Thank you.
Theo. Take a long time to say welcome, but I mean, we see each other on a
always
daily
feel
basis,
welcome,
but
yeah.
it's so lovely to have you say that you wanted to come and, be a part of the conversation.
It's
And
my duty and my privilege.
oh,
It's my duty as your brother, and it's my privilege as a
and I
human
mean,
being.
you helped you've helped with the starting of this podcast, the beginning. You were the first person I ran to for the audio side, the setting side, even the helpful thing with camera angle, because I was doing it the first podcast, like facing Charles, and then you say, no, I feel excluded. So the great inputs, to help things make it better. It's a very characteristic of you that I've noticed, and I've noticed you say yes. It's always, the answer is like always say yes, and the question is, how do you want me to make it easy for you? How do you want me to make it happen? It's like, oh, how can I make it happen? That seems to be very positive, because not everyone is able to have the mindset to say, it's always a yes. It's a matter of doing it. Can you describe us, or can you share a little, or as much as you want to, your experience on how you became so what you call inseparable to music, to the profession that you have as well as a sound engineering. I mean, it's a lot of artistic self in there.
Yeah, well, I guess it goes way back to when I was a little kid, and I remember the first time I heard some music on my grandma. I lived with my grandma, and she always had the radio on, so I was always exposed to the music that was current. And I remember hearing on the radio there was certain songs that really moved me, and I'd just start dancing. And so I just always had this really strong affinity with my emotions and how I felt, and how the music of the time, how it affected me. and it brought me a lot of joy, you know, and it brought me sadness. It brought me a lot of different emotions that even now when I hear those songs reminds me of that time and brings back that feeling to the moment, you know. And I guess I've got to be really grateful to my grandma for steering my... I was very inquisitive and always had a feeling for, like, there's something bigger than just life, you know. Like, I'd lay in my backyard and I'd look at the sky and I'd imagine what infinity was. and in my mind I'd see things in my peripheral vision, and I'd do this, and all of a sudden I'd just see infinity. And then I'd have one thought, and it'd be like, well, what's outside that? And then it'd explode to a bigger infinity. And so my mind was expanding beyond what I was learning. But my grandma, like I said, she always brought a lot of spirituality to me. She'd always take me to church, and she'd always be guiding me with, you know, kind of a fierceness in a way. Like, if I did something wrong, she'd certainly let me know, but she was never violent to me. But she really encouraged my mentality, you know, my spirituality, in the sense of giving me examples of how to be, you know, how to live my life and what to think. And so I guess it's a big rabbit hole, that one. So I guess the roots of it are way back there. And
how old were you when you realized, when you know those years,
well,
when you were
yeah.
seeing the infinity? And
well, I remember the first spark of it was when I was maybe about 4 years old, and I remember walking down the street at night with some people. There's people I was living with, and I saw this thing on the ground, and I said, "What's that?" And they said, "That's your shadow." I was like, "Oh," like, because I thought it was something alive, you know.
because it was moving just
Because it was moving, and when the light of the street lights, it had moved, so I thought it was moving. I thought, and it sort of seemed to be connected to me. So I, just a little kid, and then when, you know, I moved to my grandma's place, I was almost 6, I think. So I used to lay in the backyard, maybe around 6 or 7, because I felt really connected to that place, because I think I was born there. So when I went back there to live with my grandma, I always used to lay on the ground there and feel really grounded, really at home, you know. And so I'd start thinking about these things, and it just kept growing from there.
And did you start with singing, or did you start with playing instrument?
No, I remember at school, like, they said, "Oh, everybody choose an instrument," you know, and so, like, I wanted to play saxophone, but my grandma couldn't afford that.
Oh yeah, it would have been expensive.
And she said, "You can play." Somebody gave me some drumsticks or something, right. So I used to play on the concrete in the backyard.
Yes.
So I never essentially was encouraged to play music, but I always had the...
You always
like felt... like before, when I said I used to listen to the music, it just grabbed me. And
the nostalgic...
Yeah, and then
memory.
Rhythm started to really grab me, because that's when I used to hear Santana on the radio. I didn't know it was Santana at the time, but it's like there was this one particular song. See the light, let it shine down on me. Do 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 do. It had this real percussive rhythm, and I didn't know what the percussion was or anything then.
Yeah.
But every time it'd come in, I'd just start dancing, and I was joyful. And then later, as I grew up, I kept hearing that signature sound, and found out who it was, and then, of course, I became a devotee of the music of Santana. You know,
Yeah.
But it broadened my horizons in the musical sense, you know. So yeah, the rhythm became a fundamental thing in my consciousness, you know, like
And
the sound of the
Santana,
congas
yeah.
and the drums
And Santana, it's like amazing. His albums are amazing. I mean, when you just mentioned already, I was like smiling. So
yeah.
it's just something. The soul of Santana's music is so beautiful, and you play that every single day, spoiling everybody who comes to Byron, or every single day that you're not working, that you're not on duty on the stage with other musicians, and then you're with Santana. And I mean, when I go out, it's like a mandatory thing to have to go and come and see you.
Yeah, I love that.
Stay there and just be so dreamy in La La Land of music. I mean, probably the most solid, longest person to keep playing music to the community in Byron in the street for free, because people come and go. They play maybe for 2-3 months ago, but you've been here forever and doing this while traveling around the world, also working. And what is the most amazing experience that you've learned from being a musician, that you've accumulated, you know, through so many decades? And
Yeah, it's like music to me is like a mirror. It puts me in front of my face, you know, if that's an analogy. So I see my worst and my best. So what it does is it teaches me how to really live with integrity and to be honest enough to call myself out when I'm messing up, you know, if I'm being judgmental or analytical or just, yeah, it's a mirror.
would you think that you're being judgmental to yourself and being analytical because you're aiming to be a better person?
Yeah, I think, you know, I want to be the best possible. I think there's a lot of program and conditioning from society and I won't point fingers at anybody or anything, 'cause I don't want to be a victim of anything. Although I know that I've got faults and I know that I've got greatness too, and so I want to be brave enough to see my faults and to own up to them and go, okay, well, how do I change that? Because I want to, I need to, you know. But paramount to that, it's like, how do I live my life in this society and be kind, caring, positive, enhancing all of the higher qualities that we all need. I mean, there's so many wars in the world, I don't need to add anything to that, you know. And I look at that and I go, well, I feel if I react to somebody, regardless of what they're doing or saying, I'm reacting, you know, so I've got to be able to look at myself as well. You know, it's like that old saying, if you point one finger at somebody, you've got to be prepared to look at the three pointing back. So I always live by that. And I often give myself a hard time, you know, and not because I want to be, you know, like giving myself a hard time, but I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to...
Not because you want to suffer, because you want to be better.
I want to move aside all of that conditioning and programs so that I can get back to the essence of who I am, you know. And when I play music, it plays me, and I start feeling like who I am, you know, and I forget about all of the nonsense that I get caught up in of my own doing, you know, and I feel connected, you know. That's why I said it. I feel played. Then I feel like whatever the creator or the universe is, God, or you know, it's obvious, it's in front of me, that there's no question that there's a creating force, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
you're here, I'm here,
Yeah.
how, you know.
I mean, when you mentioned that the process of playing, and then you know, the music plays you. Do you think that's in a way, is the process of becoming for you?
Yeah, like I said, it's like when I put my guitar on and I take a breath and then I start playing, after a while I forget about whose song it is and what it is I'm playing and what chords and what scale. I just feel the creative flow then.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've done my time of practicing scales and chords and I still learn things because there's always something to learn. However, it's just, getting to that place of letting go is what I'm always looking to, you know. It's like to be able to get to that place I let go, and then I'm in ecstasy. I'm just feeling the music playing me then, you know.
Yes.
I know it's a strange analogy, but it's just I'm kind of moving out of my way to let the creativity come through. And, well, I'm connected to that too, so I don't know how else to explain it. You know?
No, but it makes sense.
Move out of the way of all the conditions and the programs and the practice and just let it flow. You know?
And I think maybe like when you describe it like that, to me, the way I would understand in my own translation, it would be, is the freedom of expression. And art is a great platform. Whoever drag themselves or make it easy for themselves to practice art in any form, I think that's that's them putting themselves in the exploration of freedom of expression. I mean, if art is to be restricted, like you say, if you don't let it be free, and then you're stuck. If you're not with that free feeling, and then art wouldn't be art without the freedom of expression, because it would be something else. It would be like a conditioning something.
Yeah.
And like you said, regardless whose music you play, you forget.
Yeah, but we're unique. Everybody's unique. And
Yes.
like you said, and like a Rembrandt and you know, another artist. They're both painting, but their expression is so different.
Very different. Yes, that's very different. But when you meet all these amazing big people, big musicians, and you have conversations with them, and you play music with them, and you work with them, and there's a lot of trust. You know, I can see that there's a lot of trust between you and them, and a lot of respect. How does it feel for you to be in such a beautiful situation, and you always manage to build really good relationship with people, and you make it easy actually for people to converse with you? What is it like to feel that good?
Well, it's an interesting question because, I mean, I started off in the industry and I'd always say yes to every job that came up, you know, and some artists I work for, I would never, if I knew what I knew now, I would never work for them, you know. And
Never always say yes.
however, I'm grateful for all those experiences, and it's like music to me, whoever you are, we're all human. And so music is something higher. It's of the creative realm, you know. So we all, I mean, the basis of every culture is music, food, art, you know, the creative.
Yes.
It feeds us, you know. And so, like, to be able to, for example, I've met a lot of, you know, premier artists and worked for them and with them. And, you know, to me, it's not who they are, it's what they're doing and what they're saying and how they're living. So from those experiences I've seen with the artists I've worked for, I've brought it back to myself. How am I going to play my music with integrity? Am I going to say things to people with my music that when I stop playing music and I'm interacting with people, am I going to be the same? So am I going to walk my talk, basically? And so, with all respect, I've worked for people who don't walk their talk, and I've worked with people who do. And now I choose who I work for, because to a large degree, because I want to put my energy into enhancing, you know, if, for example, you know, working for Carlos Santana, for example, you know, it was an incredible privilege, and to be able to give back to somebody and say thank you to them for how I've been shaped and how I've been moved by their positivity in my life. So, of course, I want to work with people like that. But I'll never say no if somebody asks me to work who I'm not sure about.
Yeah.
But more times than not, I've put myself in situations where, like, I shouldn't be here, you know. I don't want to be here. And then somehow energy tends to, you know, energy goes where energy flows. So I'm not being separatist when I say I don't want to work for
Yes.
this type of person or that. I just want to really put all of my energy into where I feel good too,
Yes.
you know.
And that's the thing, that because we are all humans, every individual generates different energy
Yeah.
at one space, at the same space, and we don't flow all together in the same frequency. And so, I mean, depending, as like I guess what you say, I just want to work with people who share the same, you know, vibration as I aim to have for myself, because the worst thing is to feel trapped working.
Yeah.
Like in any workplace, playing music with anybody as well,
Yeah.
the same thing. I mean, I've seen how sometimes it can be quite difficult for you to continue playing when somebody comes with this chaos into your face, grabbing whatever is there, and just rumbling on, and in not a really nice way at all. Neither do they come to listen to the music, and that's really hard to share space, even if it's in the open. It's hard to share space with someone and want to continue playing music. You just really had to stop. I mean, that's a small micro wall, micro experience. So apply, like, in relation to the workspace, it's not that much different, is it?
Yeah, it's like another analogy is like, you know, I don't want to separate myself from anybody.
Yeah.
However, I need to, you know, it's like, I think in life, when we become aware of things and not putting myself up or above or below anybody,
Yes.
but that's what the streets taught me a lot, is because everybody is on the street. And so I have to learn not to take offense by what
Yes.
anybody's saying, not to react negatively to people, although I have to stand up and be strong too sometimes,
yeah.
and say to people, hey, that's not appropriate, can you please move over there? I'm not telling you go away, but can you just go over there and do what you're doing? And if you don't, well, I'll go. You know, but it's very challenging, because, like I said before, the mirror is in front of me all the time, you know, and when you walk the path of being creative, that mirror is very in your face.
Oh yes,
you know,
for sure.
And I think that's a great thing, you know, because when you start noticing there's a mirror there, you can look at it two ways. You can go, oh, how beautiful I am and how amazing.
Yeah.
Or you can go, wow, I got some work to do.
Yeah, that's true.
I got some work to do. And I always do that. I always go, wow, I got some work to do. So every time I'm playing or living my life, I'm thinking about music, but I'm also, the biggest thing is I'm thinking about how can I deal with my life? How can I be in every situation? It's like, for example, you're walking into a dark cave. You might hear scary sounds and all kinds of slimy, slippery things are going on. But I got to shine a light in there,
Yes.
because it's my duty, to be that light in the world, and that's not my light; it's from the source, So I've got to be able to not interfere with that light. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's why the mirror is important to me. It's like, okay, am I reacting like this because I'm looking at the part of me that I'm trying to protect, and why do I need to protect it? And all the questions come up, but or am I just going, okay, I'm a light, I need to be a light, a vessel for the spirit, and not be concerned, but be aware and be conscious and intelligent, about things, because to react is really easy.
Oh yeah.
But to be aware takes so much courage, and like, I'm just doing my best to be as courageous as possible in my life.
I mean, we all have that fragility and vulnerability in within us, and at certain point there can be like just the wrong second, something just collide, and it takes a lot of strength to react in a way that is not going to add extra damage.
That's what I love about you, because I've noticed you so much in my life, and since we've known each other, you're fierce in the truth, and it's
scary
you
for
inspire me. That inspires me, because I tend to be a bit too questioning I shouldn't be angry at that person.
I do that,
but I should be real, and
but you are
you're
real.
the most real person I know.
It doesn't make you any less real to do it your way by taking your time. It doesn't. I don't see that being less real, or that I am more real because I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I'm not looking at more or less. It's
Yeah.
just like the differences, and like,
And I
people
really,
inspire each other in different ways.
yeah, but if I could be if I could could be half as calm as to your.
And if I could be half as ferocious as you, I'd be better off too, So it's like the balance. I think it's about that in life, finding the balance and not giving ourselves a hard time if we react.
But that's what I love about us is, apart from being siblings and being friends and members of community, is that we have these differences, and no matter how we communicate, it's never to put each other down. How we run onto each other about things and discuss things is never with the intention to put anybody's down. And I really think it's helps to kind of create everyday life balance, to have the positive intonation and like intention, to have to be with a well-meaning intention on a daily basis. I think it's really oh, that's overheating. Haven't gotten anywhere. It's overheating. Sorry. And so the well-intentions daily living, I think that's helps for me to even up with when I'm being very critical right on the spot, and I'm not scared, because I don't want to be nice. I mean, I don't want to be nice, because the way I interpreted being nice is I will not offend somebody. And just because I want to be nice, not to offend somebody, doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with them being right, so, or being wrong, I mean. So I'd rather just be kind. And even if it means they're going to judge me for saying truthfully to their face, well, I don't want to take that. Like when I get abused at drumming circle not too long ago, and he told me to move away. He was already there, and how about I come back to the drum circle to drum later with the dunduns and stuff until he's left, until after he's left. So then I just look at him and I say, well, it's not like you own a place, is it? And of course he didn't like it. But I just say it there because that's what came to my
What's the truth?
head. But also, reality is like you don't own the place; it's a public space, and then we've always drummed there. And I'm just setting up. I'm not drumming. I was just setting up. And if you choose to be a certain person with me, of course, like you say, the mirror reflects. I reflect what you give to me as well. But if you're with, you always feel the good intention from somebody, and then you kind of embrace it or reject it. And I just feel you're so superior to be able to always, most of the time, like 90% of the time, you're holding yourself high, in high regards, and I have a lot of respect for that. I mean, the fact that you deal with the public, your work is always dealing with the public. It's never about one-to-one person, unless you're helping me setting up things like this, and then I call you and like, I'm having a crisis, 11 o'clock in the night, please come and help me. That's a different thing. So I cannot, like, it's even a teacher. They can still have private tuitions, dealing with one-to-one person, teaching music or art. You don't have that. If you go to set up, like when you build studios for people here, help them set up a studio, you always have to deal with the owner of the studio and then every other thing, and then you call a music shop to say, I need this equipment to install here, like all this, dealing with people all the time, and it takes so much. How do you what kind of meditation do you do to keep you in a serene state of being?
I got a few different methods, and the first one I prioritize is just my connection with nature and with the God, what I perceive that to be, and it varies in different shapes and forms. But to me, I go for a walk usually in the afternoon before I go and play, because that's a meditation to me. On the beach, there's nature, there's the elements. To me, it's the living representation of creation. It's I can relax because I feel the freedom, I feel connection, and I can breathe. And without breathing, I wouldn't be here.
Yes.
So to me, connecting with my breath is important. And in my lifetime, I've done a lot of yoga and pranayama, and I did acrobatics for a long time, and circus arts.
Were you doing acrobatics?
Yeah, I worked in circus.
You see, this is the thing. You think you know your family. You think you know your friends. I mean, even my parents, I don't know them that well. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
You did acrobatics.
Yeah, so bottom line is the breathing is my meditation, keeps me connected with what's breathing me and what's being breathed, which, I consider to be who I am.
Yes.
Juan Salvador isn't me.
Yes.
I'm whoever I'm saying I am is me.
Your name is so great. Juan Salvador. It's so good.
And I do some like qigong or yoga in the mornings when I wake up for my body, and first thing I do in the morning when I wake up and before I go to sleep is thank God for my life, and for everything. And sometimes I don't know who or what I'm talking to. I just do it because I want to feel the connection, And yeah, so walking, and ultimately to me music is my highest meditation. When I feel that place of I'm lost, I feel found, the music discovers me, and I feel supported, I feel complete, it's I don't know how else to explain it. It's
But
just
it
like I
brings you to
feel
a
who I
higher
am.
state.
I'm not Juan Salvador anymore. I'm this experience of being connected with this incredible thing called music. It's I think a lot of scriptures talk about what God did, and the first thing He did was utter the word, and the word was, to me that's the sound vibration in.
That's what
It's
Shanti,
creative force. Yeah.
Shanti, the walker,
Oh
he
yeah.
came to the podcast last week.
Yeah, I've had many
And
nice
he
chats with
was
Shanti. Yeah.
mentioning, that, yeah. And I just realized through the podcast, every single one of my friends channeling the same thing is that path to being at peace with themselves, the path of becoming. And I mean, I kind of know for myself practicing art what it is, but then inviting friends who practice art, it's been quite a blessing to have the exchange of life experience and what they describe to me, in terms of what I understand about God, about nature. And yeah, of course, some of us only practice art at the one scale thing, like we're only painting or just photography or just singing. But I think the really deep highest thing about art is that when you go somewhere, even if it's just an old hut somebody built by the beach, you see art. You see someone's spirit in there. They put so much energy. Then you go to the city, these magnificent buildings, this fabulous architecture.
Yeah.
You see art through that. And then you go to a shop or go to someone's house, and then you see like how like someone put attention and enough care and express some kind of love, the freedom to be creative in this kind of thing,
Yeah, it's special.
textile, the things that how even what we want to wear. And so I think it's at a very wide scale, deeper and higher level of art is pretty much is what's life is, nature is.
Yeah.
Going to
And
the forest, the autumn leaves to the spring leaves, just all that is just quite profound. And with your instrument, what instrument did you start first? Because your
the
grandma
drumsticks.
couldn't find. Oh yeah, the drumsticks.
The
Yeah,
drumsticks.
but yes, because Did you? When did you start the bongos?
It wasn't until like I was about 15.
So with the drumstick.
I kind of moved away from where I was. My grandma couldn't look after me anymore.
Yeah.
So, long story short, I was
Yeah.
out on my own.
Yeah.
And so I picked up a guitar when I was 15, and it's like, wow, I love this.
What sort of guitar did you first?
It was just an
remember?
some acoustic guitar, I
Wow.
can't even remember. It was somebody else's, and they let me play it.
Oh yes.
And then I got my own.
And then the drumstick. Did you ever play it on a drum?
I never actually learnt to play drums, like
So,
the kit drum, but because of my ongoing love and for the music of Santana, I started finding all these other like world music sounds that really inspired me.
You mean
so
even until
the common
today?
the common thing in all of that was I'd hear the hand drums, the percussion, whether it be the bongos or congas. So I thought, I want to learn that because I want to be able to do that, play it on my guitar. I want to be able to play my guitar with those people playing the drums.
And
You
you're
know?
good at that, love.
Yeah, so I learnt that, and then everything I learnt, I had a teacher for a long time, and I'm still in touch with him. He's in Bermuda. His name's Keith Casey. He's the master percussionist. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he taught me. I used to go to Brisbane every week and hang with him for about 3 days for years, and he'd just teach me by playing, and so we'd sit opposite each other like this.
Yes.
And he'd say, play this, and then and then I'd play, and then he'd go off, and we'd just be in this amazing space of
harmony,
creativity, and playing. But to me, it was cultural input. It's like he was instilling into me the essence of what his culture brought to him, so I felt very blessed.
From?
He's from Bermuda. He's an African Bermudan. Wow. Yeah. So he lived here in Australia for maybe 25 years. Wow. Played in like many really famous bands in Australia as a percussionist. Wow. And I met him because I wanted to learn congas, and somebody said, there's this percussionist doing this weekend's workshop. So I found out, and I went there. It was up at Green Park at the Sunshine Coast, and I met him, and straight away I knew he's my master, he's my teacher, and we just became really good friends. But there was definitely this student teacher relationship of respect, and now we're like brothers.
That's beautiful.
It's like he calls me, I call him, from Bermuda since 20 years. He hasn't been here for 20 years.
Wow,
but we still stay in touch.
And
but yeah, he always talks to me about the spirit and about music and about, the connection, like being a vessel for the spirit.
Bingo.
So that's what I aspire to every day in every way, and especially with music. And when I play on the street, it's not because I'm trying to make money.
No, you never make money.
I have a good job. I get paid really well.
You never make
It's
money.
because I need to play. I need to feel that creative flow. I need to touch space every day, and that's where I can do it. And the other thing that took me a long time to realise was, a big part of playing on the street is that when people come up and want to talk, I need to stop and listen to them.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah,
you do that
because that gives me life experience. That gives them something too. It's like it becomes this reciprocal thing, because people get drawn to what I'm doing. It's my duty to serve them, in a way, to stop. And if they want to talk, I've got to be able to listen. And then I yearn to play. Like sometimes when they're talking, they might be going on about all kinds of things. And in my mind, it's like, I just want to play. I just want to play. But then another thing goes, Juan, just listen. Yeah. Just listen. You're playing. You're being played right now by this person. And I'm saying that in the kindest of ways.
Yes, yes.
So, it's all relative, like you were saying, you might go to a beach and see somebody's creativity. They built this little stick house, Well, that's beautiful, and to know why they've done that and how they've done that is important. Then that becomes a part of my creativity too, because I appreciate that creativity of that person, So, and everybody's got a story, and it's all the same in a lot of ways, We all experience the same things. We all experience suffering, joy, happiness, love, compassion, empathy. It's just where we're at, whether we've become so hurt that we become a victim of those things. It's how we present ourselves in the world, or we go, okay, I've had the same experiences of you, but however, I'm not choosing to be a victim. I'm choosing to go, I want quality in my life. I want to be happy. I want to, and unfortunately, some people don't know how to get out of that. And I know for myself it's been difficult at times to know how to resurface when you feel like you're drowning and you feel like this is the moment, and am I dying now? And And in a lot of ways, I want to die to my ideas, die to my expectations, to the point where when somebody comes to me and they want to talk, okay, I'm listening, you know. To me, that's humility, to the point where I'm being equal with that person and I'm sharing in their process of healing, you know. Because to me, that's what music does. It brings healing to the world, and depends on my intention, like you were talking about before. I mean, some music isn't healing. Some music is a fucking cacophony of attack, you know.
Yeah.
And I can say that from experience, and I'm not putting anybody or anything down.
Yeah.
It's just like where we're at and how we represent and play music is so crucial, because we're affecting the lives of other people. It's like I was saying before, you know, when I'm a kid, I heard all the music I wanted to listen to. I knew what I liked and what I didn't like. It was clear to me. And now when I hear that music again, it brings back that feeling of joy or of sadness, but in a really creative way, you know, that I'm like, wow, overwhelmed with joy for my life, you know.
Yeah.
Even if it's sad and reminds me of something that was really difficult, it's somehow fills our spirit, you know. It fills you with this feeling of, wow, I overcame that, and I still feel worth, you know. I still feel this love for my life and gratitude, you know. And
I mean, to some, I mean, like in many ways, for me, music holds me together.
yeah,
There are periods of like dolefulness, right? And there's some music that makes you realize what your emotions are. You're playing them and you're bursting into tears. You don't know the mix of like the music sometimes connects you to your emotions so deeply that you kind of realize, I'm really sad right now. I can tell because this music is so affecting me. And the words maybe just say I miss you or I love you, and then you're like over translating it, over feeling it. Also, I think it's something that we tend to just, in our happy times, we never really sing lyrics to really try to understand how these lyrics means to us, because everyone else is singing it. It's something, it's an old song. It's just like that in our happy times, until something heavy hits, and then you relate to music, or everyone becomes a poet. When you're heartbroken, I notice everyone becomes a poet, because then they go read the poetry and stuff. So art is like a life-saving platform for anyone.
yeah, it's interesting what you said about the heart being broken, because, you know, only through our heart being broken we know how to really love.
That's true.
You know, and how to really. I mean, we've got a choice at every moment. You know, when the heart breaks, we can become really cynical and and negative, but we can go, okay, this needed to happen so that I can burst open, break me open to what's real and not what I think and what I want. You know, it's like, you know, trying to grab at somebody or something, like love me, no, love myself, you know. And if I feel like, you know, we've all come out of broken relationships, you know, and it's easy to blame the other person or the situation, but really,
It's
and
hard to work on ourselves.
that avoids the vulnerability, you know, because I got to be able to look at myself and go, okay, break, baby, let my heart break, and get back to what's the everlasting love, you know. Because I look at, I mean, I often use this analogy in my life that I heard it a long time ago, but it helps me. It's like in my life, there's people, places, situations, and events. And every day there'll be a person, a place, a situation, an event. I might love those things so much. I might not like them. Regardless, at the end of the day, when I'm lay down in bed, whether it's somebody next to me or not, I close my eyes and I'm faced with who I am and with my Creator. And it's like, what's the most consistent thing that's been in there? That person might be different next year in the bed next to me than it was now. Or there might be nobody in there.
Yeah.
It's my guitar's in my bed next to me.
The best wife.
Yeah, 37 years we've been together.
Never speak back to
Although I don't regret anybody I've been with, and I love and adore them dearly still, regardless of what happened, you know. So it's like, okay, at the end of the day, the reality is I'm faced with me, because in all those people's places, situations, events, the most consistent thing has been me. So how am I going to be with those people, places, situations, and events? I want to be the best possible thing I can be for me, so that I have good relations with all those things. So at the end of the day, I can breathe in and breathe out and fall asleep happy, you know. And that's the challenge at times.
This thing that you're talking about, the best at being me, how we all work towards that. Back in when I was really young, teenage period, I had an auntie, cousin to my mom, and she would, if you do something that not up to her standard, her golden thing to say is, of course, you're just a teenager and you're doing your best. Girls always try to do their best, so are boys. But we tend to just think that boys are
Well,
like
different
taking their
motives,
time,
yeah.
you know, like checking first, like, oh, I'm not sure. But anyway, my auntie would come with her golden sentence to say, like, when you do things, do it as if you're going to do it for God. And there was a pro and cons in that for me, because, you know, like, I witnessed things that she does and I'm just thinking, bloody hypocrite, you know. But then again, I understand at the same time back then, because I kind of always overthink at times for myself, you know. And I remember thinking one day, I was in the shower and I was thinking, it's not at all wrong what she said. Do it as if you're doing it for God, to be with the best result you can possibly be offering, and whether it's cooking or anything. And when I realized that she wasn't wrong, it was because I was awakened to the fact that I was questioning myself. Who is going to be the happiest person in my life if I were to do something so good? If I were to do, like, I was saying to myself, if I were to, like, do something so good, who is it going to be so glad about it? Who is the person that, there's only one person who's going to be so glad beyond everything else, everyone else. And I thought, no, can't be my mom, can't be my dad. Nobody that I could think of. And I just remember thinking, it's me, it's me. And then I said to myself in the shower, I'm God, I'm the God. And I understood, you see, I understood, because I questioned since I was 11 years old. I had a fight with my dad, who is God. He tried to explain to me, I couldn't understand. My common sense didn't make sense at all to what my dad was trying to explain. So I kind of didn't believe in religious stuff, indoctrinated, whatever thing, doctrines. And that was the time where I realized, I'm God. And not meaning to be arrogant, but the joy of realizing that when they say God lives within you, that was the moment. And until you come to that kind of point in your life of realization and acceptance that you are the only person who's always going to aim to do the better or the best thing for your own well-being, until you come to that point, you don't want to learn from anybody's mistake, you don't want to learn from your own mistake, you don't want to forgive, you don't want to use fear as a stepping stone to get out to the better side. Lots of other things that you're just gonna be stuck. And so then, no matter how dark things get, if you know your God's live within, it changes. It's a life-changing thing. It's a big change. And I relate to what you say just then about working to be the better human being in all regards. I think it's us, we always busy about looking for the purpose. Oh, what's my purpose in life? What's my purpose in life? I still don't know. I have friends who are so sure, like, I'm here to be helpful, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, for one moment, yeah, I'm like that. And the next moment, when somebody turns into bitchiness, like, I'm not sure if I want to be helpful to you. I'm sorry, like, I need to be helpful to myself first. I've got a lot of stuff to work on.
Life's a paradox, eh?
Yeah. With your tour, how do you experience the cultures up and down? Because you're going from Australia to, let's say, Bali or to East Europe or elsewhere, and then you're touring with big people, amazing people who are also exposed like you to all the different cultures. What's your perception? Because one thing you're traveling as an artist, and next thing as a person, ordinary human being detached from music, who want to enjoy a holiday, want to connect with people who speak different languages to you, live different culture, eat different kind of food. I know you're very open, so you would never put yourself into a cultural shock, not like that.
The biggest cultural shock I ever get is when I come back to Australia. Really, because when I travel, there's something really magical about traveling that I really love, because it's like all of a sudden I might be in a country where I don't speak the language, so I've got to use another way of communicating. Body language, yeah. And I like the challenge of that. I like being able to use a common language with people. It's something really special, and you can laugh with people, and I didn't know a word they said, but I could still laugh, because of the way we interact. But yeah, I think the common thing between wherever I go in the world is people. We're all the same, and I like the different varieties of food people eat. So to be able to, when I go and live somewhere, for example, like in Bali, I like to really go to the markets and hang out with the people and go to their ceremonies, learn the language a bit more, and eat that food and try to the biggest thing I've noticed with travelling is putting aside my own ideas of how I live in my country and just being really receptive and incredibly respectful to people, because they might be doing things that I don't like or agree, but that's just because...
And you don't understand why?
Yeah, and I don't understand, so I've got to put myself in a position of, okay, well, I've just got to be open here and learn why they're doing that, or learn... and then I'm not so concerned, because once you understand people's cultures to a certain degree, you start to see the common thread in all cultures is that people have ceremonies, whether it's religious ceremonies or festivals, they eat food, some eat meat, some eat vegetables, some hunt, some farm, some, paint their faces, some wear colourful clothes, it's all the same, everybody. It's just different expressions of that cultural identity, and that's what I love about the planet, it's a circle, and
Yes.
we're all hand in hand around it. At the moment it doesn't seem like that,
No,
but
it doesn't.
but I think there's a division in the world that there's certain people in the world who are really bad and evil, and
They are.
and I never used to say that, but now I can see it
You
clearly.
have to admit.
And
people,
then
yeah.
there's people who are really good and kind, So the thing is, there's some people, the ones who are really evil. there's more good people than there's other evil, but they're the ones who are controlling the whole world, And I won't go into it. It's just that's what I see, So when I travel, I like to see people's goodness, see people's higher qualities, and when I do that, I see my flaws and I see my own higher qualities, So traveling's an amazing thing, and
Is there anything that, of course, like there's cultural differences, right? Let's say if I see someone from South America, they're like very out there, especially if you're from Brazil,
Yeah.
with all the festival as well, you're just very sexy all the
Yeah,
time,
ooh la la la
and
la.
yeah, or if you're from, like somehow people from Spain to me associate a lot with flamenco, that kind of, especially flamenco dance, but they're from Seville or that kind of place, and but there are specific places that I would think of people, like Bali. A lot of people knows Kuta, Denpasar, that kind of Seminyak, that's most of the names that you hear, right? Because when people go to this Ubud is known for different things to Bali as well, to Kuta as well, let's say. And then you went to East Europe and perform music there as well. Is there like a significant place or like specific places in each of these places that you feel that have kind of really big impact on you, that may have changed at one point or another, changed you, contribute to changes in your life, let's say?
Yeah, I think it's been progressive, really. Like every place I've been to has brought something unique, but also I've seen there's common things in all of that as well,
Okay.
And we talked about that in the cultures and the religion and food and art and spiritual, so there's not one particular place that really, I'd say was the one that stood out more than the others, because they all have something unique to that cultural diversity is unique. And
did you always take something, like did you always buy something as a souvenir from every place that you go to, or no, not really?
Not really. Yeah. Like I don't tend to
You'll
be
have a
somebody
museum
who buys.
by now.
Yeah, I would have. I'm kind of doing my best to just keep things as minimal as possible in my life.
Minimalist.
Yeah, because I actually do like to be able to, at any given point in time, just get up and go somewhere. So if I've got things...
yes, for sure.
And maybe this is a problem, I don't know, but since I lived in my grandma's house when I'm a kid, I haven't had a stable home. That was my last stable home. And so there's something in that, and so I've all my life
You
I've
like
been
the
a
freedom.
gypsy, you know, in
Yeah.
a way, like, and it hasn't been that easy either,
Of course.
and I struggle with that at times. Of like, I just want to be stable. I just want to have a home, you know. But now more and more I'm just kind of accepting, well, that's the flow of my life, you know, and I wouldn't have experienced all the things I had without being that way. So I don't know what the future brings, and
well, tomorrow is always unpredictable. We don't know,
yeah,
untold, and
and I can't even count on now because it's
so
gone now. Now it's gone.
yeah,
It's like,
it's
well, the
all
past is the
needs
past, the
going to be
future is unknown.
history.
Yeah, so um, it's, I don't even know what to call it. It's just live life, you know. Just live life.
I mean, there are some of us. I mean, within our family, even you know, in our family circles, that works to accumulate so much, right? And
We all
always
do,
waiting
yeah.
to be for the day when they can use it all or something like that. And I'm thinking, yeah, but you don't know whether you're going to use it all or you're going to leave it
Yeah.
to whoever's left behind to fight over it. And also at the same time, just the worry of making sure it's security, the security world, making sure all of this that you work hard for,
Yeah.
while you go out, somebody's not going to come
Yeah.
and ravage that.
Yeah, it's an
There
interesting.
can be that.
Yeah, it's an interesting paradox because, you know, often you hear people say, "Oh, I've just got to live in the moment." Well, I can't live in the moment because I do think of the future, and I do think of how I'm going to care for my family or for the things I have. You know, so I don't want to deny that because the future is just as important as the moment and as the past is, and it's I think there's a strange paradox. Time is this thing that we go by a clock, you know, but it's actually a lot
Clock,
deeper
I
than
think
that.
clock is a made-up invention.
Yeah, it is. It's actually light and shade is the thing that drives us every day. You know, the sun comes up, we go and do things.
Have you ever hear of the story of um, what's his name? The philosopher Epicure and Alexander the Great. I think it's the two of them. I can't remember. I don't remember exactly what I read. This was a long time ago, and my English was so broken. You know, this is the trouble when you read things while your English is so like learning, like a child learning to walk, learning to talk. And you read some stuff that are so interesting. You get the big picture, but you forget some small details. Like many, in my case, many details. I think it was Epicure. What is his name? Epicure, because the adherents, the people who adhere his philosophy called Epicureans.
Oh,
And
okay.
he is the one who say carpe diem, or his philosophy kind of carpe diem, seize the day, live the moment. And the story that I remember reading was, I think I read it, was that Alexander the Great had some kind of pittiness towards him. He was lying in the sun, lying in the grass, enjoying the sun. And Alexander the Great decided to come and stand right in front of him while he's lying down. And he said, "What can I do for you?" I mean, I don't think the story was told like this. It's just my version of saying it. Excuse my storytelling. What can I do for you? And then he was just continuing to lying down, and he just said one thing to Alexander the Great: "You're blocking the sun." Move away.
Yeah.
So move away. The thing, with all his wealth, all his mightiness, all his power, he thought he's got something to offer. Very little did he know he was blocking the
Yeah,
sunshine.
that's interesting.
Most precious thing, what he wanted, that was just that, and he was living the moment. And so then the later days, in this what I read, the later days people translate to living the moment as a negative thing, when in fact it was actually for positive thing like that. So really, like, there's the sunshine, enjoy it right there. That's what. So until now, I adopt that original philosophy.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I really love that story. I love that story because it's a perspective that it's a story that gives perspective to life. That we tend to not see it like that because we tend to feel like, oh, I'm mighty important. Can I help you?
Get out of my way.
That's what Shanti and I were talking about it because people would stop. He said, and it will come up in Shanti's podcast. This story, but it's a slight taste of the story is that people will stop and he's been walking for hours. He's got bad knees, walking for hours, sweating, and he never relies on somebody giving him a lift. And even if he does, he's always been so cautious, so aware, to put his clothes back on, and because he's walking, he has to take this jackets off and whatever top off. And the first thing they would say to him is like, "Have you got anything to put on?" Like that, in a sinister way. And then he said, "David is like, fuck off, you don't think I have the." Of course I have something to put on. Like, you can understand. Come on, I've been walking. I'm sweating. How can I just wear my long sleeve and all that on? And yeah, he would always have a towel with him to put on the seat and cover with his clothes, and he doesn't lean on the chair. I've noticed every time he's with me, he's like that. And this is it, the mightiness of feeling like I've got something to offer. But that's the thing, that how do you offer? It's gonna make people also feel horrible if it's not unconditional.
Yeah. And like you're saying about Shanti, being conscious of things is.
I mean, I would feel like that too.
Yeah, like if I'm standing in, I got to see that I'm standing in the person's light, that they're they're laying there because they want to feel the sun, and I stand in the way, and I don't see that. Well, hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we are not, that's what, like you say, the mirror, we don't ever reflect often. We don't reflect often on our own behavior. And like you say, it's easy to blame, harder to work on ourselves. Every single one of us. I mean, I do the same shit. I still find myself like that. So I don't deliberately want to be that. It's not easy. It's not easy to admit to yourself there's so much work to do, Francesca, so much work to do. When you play the bongo, what age did you start?
I think I was like 17 or 18.
17, 18, oh yeah.
That's when I met Keith, yeah.
And when you start to play in the street, guitar?
Yeah, that was probably when I was about 25.
Wow.
Yeah.
All the girls must have come crawling.
No.
Just kidding.
It's interesting you say that because, I mean, I see a lot of musicians in my life.
Oh, yeah.
And I see how things work, But
Of
that's
course,
never
every
been...
night you're working with that.
Yeah, but that's never been the thing that's been forefront in my life. Like, I might do gigs, and then, just for example, I used to play in bands in the area, and we'd be playing, and then at the end, I'd just start packing up my gear.
Yes, yeah.
But I noticed the girls would go to the other guys, and they'd start talking, and then they'd all leave all their gear, and it's like, well...
Interaction.
Yeah, so I just keep playing, my main focus was just to play the music. It wasn't because I wanted to get girls, and that's still the case. I mean, I'm human, I'm a man, I love girls, It's just my priority of why I'm doing things is really clear.
It's normal also for girls to like look at this handsome guy and he's playing guitar, or look at this beautiful girl. Guys and girls, I mean, look at this beautiful girl, she sings so well. There's so many things to appreciate about the person on the stage as well, from the audience perspective, because sometimes you could feel that they're not just the singer, you know, they're really kind people, and then you're so attracted to the kindness, you're attracted to their friendliness, and sometimes, you know, I don't mind saying I'm enjoying the bass line. I don't care. I don't know if you're famous or not. It's like I
Yeah.
love the bass line. I would say it. I
Yeah.
don't know, and it's harmless.
It's interesting you say it because, I mean, again, like, yeah, I've worked for a lot of really famous people, and the common thing I've noticed with people in the bands is when they finish, people want to come and see them.
Yes.
They're attracted to that. And to me, I see, I don't, I mean, I know they're famous, but I'm working for them, so they're just another person to me.
Yes. Yes.
However,
Oh, you're
the
talking
more I
about
get to know
famous
that
people now.
person,
Okay.
yeah, the more I get to know that person, I'm, you know, respectful and grateful to them or what they do, but I'm still treating them on the same level. I'm not going,
Yes.
oh, can,
No.
you know,
No.
I'm
No.
just.
You never do that.
So that's taught, being in the industry as a roadie from the beginning taught me how to just be really, see that people are people regardless, you know.
Yes. Yes.
And that, you know, musicians, like I said before, have a duty. It's a privilege to be a musician, and it's their duty to be putting out things that people are going to be feeling good with. It's bringing people up, not
Yes.
bringing people down.
Yes.
Because they're programming people. Musicians are programming people every day,
Of course.
you know, and artists are, and everybody's influencing somebody else in some way, and
Yes.
we got to tread lightly, you know,
That's right.
to be so aware of what we're doing that we can walk our talk, you know,
And also, I mean, like the
enhance the
the
positive.
fact that you brought up that issue about, you know, they're just people like us,
Yeah.
even if they're famous, and that's one of the things that in Western society is a really troublesome thing to see as well for me, not coming from the society, because, you know, with my way of growing up, I'm so exposed to foreigners, to strangers, to people from different cultures, to different languages, since ever since I can remember, and that sort of a little did I realize that it trains me to be quite adaptable when I meet people, and the big lesson that I learned from this was I never could explain this earlier on, but in my later life, I came to when I realized that eagerness in people here, like, but because he's famous or she's famous or something, there's this eagerness, right? And something, it feels like a stomach churning thing for me to see that kind of eagerness. And I realized what the way I was raised, the impact of it is growing up and understanding for myself that never let someone, regardless of who they are, never let them think that you don't belong, that you're a nobody. And there's no traditional culture or indigenous culture anywhere that as far as to my knowledge, that as soon as the child was born, was get taught to say, "Oh, it's a nobody." No, I don't see in any culture that, you know, maintain its generation of survival to say that you were born to be nobody, other than some doctrines that comes along and say you're a sinner, you need to convert, you need to do this, you know, other than this kind of stuff, bull craps. But yeah, generally I think everyone is with the rooted, genuine understanding or sense to know that they were born good, and they don't need to feel that they don't belong. You know, you belong. That's why you were born. This is a common ground for everybody. somebody just do something better than another in different way that maybe it's very unique, and we all like adore the way they do it and adore the way they behave, which gives us a lot of variety. How do you then, when that seeing that kind of scenario and that kind of experience, that makes you hold your ground as a musician for what your purpose is. But if a girl ever comes and say to you, and of course clearly adores you or likes you, and how would you handle that? How do you handle
It's
that?
very rare it happens.
Oh, come on. Very rare it happen, or you don't want to notice? Because I've noticed.
Maybe I just don't notice.
I
don't
think
know.
you just don't know. Because I noticed you don't see people as a sexual thing. You see people as people first. And like in cases of girls were really attracted to you, how?
It's funny because I tend to get a bit self-conscious, and I don't see that somebody, but I'll feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know what to do with it. A part of me does, but another part's kind of like a bit. Well, why do they like me?
Oh, come on.
No, I'm being honest. It's like there's a part of me that doesn't feel worthy, and like when somebody feels attracted to me, I was like, "You sure?" and I'm not putting myself down. That's my mentality. That's how I think at times, and But if I'm having a normal conversation with somebody, sometimes I can be really upfront with people, and if I like somebody, if they're a boy or a girl, I'll feel really relaxed, and then I might meet a girl, and I've met lots of girls, and I've got a lot of friends who are girls. And
a lot of them are really good looking.
Yeah,
Very good looking.
but my motive and the reason I became friends with them was because I felt relaxed and I felt
that's
friendship with
them. And they
them.
come to you anyway. I've seen them. I'm sitting there like listening, and
Really?
they come to you. See, the one girl that's from where is she? From Vietnam or no?
Taiwan.
Yeah. She just have to always come and greet. It's just beautiful. She has
we're
beautiful
friends,
presence. But not just her. Like a lot. They would just stand by the side and then like try to get your attention to say hello, and it's really nice. It's really nice. It's nothing perverted or anything, perverse or anything. It's just.
Yeah, I enjoy my friendships with people on the street. There's certain people who become like regular because I'm there and they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
We finally meet, like her, Sprite. Her name is.
I forgot her name.
She works in the banks, cleaning the banks. So for months and months over the beginning of summer, she'd walk past with her headphones on, and I'd notice her, and I'd keep playing. Then one day she actually stopped and said hi. Like, oh hi, and she said, oh, we keep seeing each other. Thought I'd say hello.
And
like,
she's really lovely.
Yeah, and she's great, and so
nature.
because we got to know each other, she's a DJ and she wanted to learn how to be to do audio and tech. So I started, okay, well, you can come and I'll teach you how to do audio production. So it's kind of like this mentorship thing going on.
Yes, I know this.
And it's really nice because we're so relaxed with each other, and I like her quirkiness, and I like her. We've got a lot of common threads there, and it feels almost like a daughter and a father kind of thing.
But
it's
you
really
know what I love about her? She
interesting.
comes with, how her headphone.
Yeah.
It's not just a usual headphone, and she's got a character that she created that project, right?
Sprite.
And she always comes to,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah.
She comes to me like this, and I always like it because you think she's high on something, but she's not. She's just happy.
Yeah.
She's like the happy high herbs herself,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, and I always love when she comes to me,
Mm.
and something very Eastern way was always, you know, kisses and hugs. It's very, very touchy. I like people who are touchy.
Yeah.
I like people who are touchy. I know
Yeah.
people who are touchy.
Yeah.
I'm like that though. So I have to learn to be in the Western way as well. Sometimes,
Guarded.
don't touch.
Yeah.
It's difficult for me. It's difficult because I come from a culture like that, very touchy. We don't greet like mwah, mwah. We don't have this kind of greeting. It's so different. You have to hold each other on the face and rub the nose against each other. And when it's not enough, you do it again like this. You know, rub your nose with each other, and it's called nose kisses. And we don't just rub; we actually inhale each other.
Wow.
And that's acknowledgement of each other's presence. So when I inhale you, like basically smelling your breath, you know, saying that I acknowledge your presence right
Yeah.
now.
The breath in me is the breath in
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it's like this, and it's a very traditional
It's beautiful.
thing, very different. And so coming from something so intimate, a place, a habit, a culture, a tradition, like rooted within me, you know, to be like that and be like that. It's something that I cannot walk away. I cannot erase from me, and I have to like limit myself when I go to certain places, certain cultures, certain people. I have to like, I can't do that. And I'm overdoing it, and I'm constantly analyzing myself. How am I supposed to behave in a different environment? And it's a challenge, but it's not too bad. Some days you get misunderstood, and I don't know how to necessarily explain that. But I'm just not from the handshaking culture. That's it. So it's a bit different. Very family oriented.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I like that about cultures that are, you know, older cultures. They have a certain integrity with their intimacy. You know that is. I mean, in the West here, it's at times. I'm not putting it down, but it's quite perverted.
It's not to go and hug somebody. It's like, come to bed
People
with
get
me.
scared
Nothing like
of like of intimacy, scared that if that person touched me, what does that mean? And but it's
just for example, right? If you get sick here, and I understand, I completely understand. I'm not judging this because I apply that to you know to myself as well, and I don't want to pass if I feel sick and a friend come by the gate and I say, "Oh, I'm sick, darling, don't come. I don't want you to catch the virus."
it's common sense.
Yeah, common sense. But in my place, you're in the deathbed with virus. The whole room is filled up with your family, your neighbors, everybody, constantly. Nobody fears that. Nobody fears the disease that you get. What they fear is that might be the last goodbye, might be the last visit. And that just, for me, I'm saying that because I know
it's intelligent. It's like what they call herd immunity, you know, because enough people share the same thing, it becomes an immunity to that thing. Yeah. It's a strength.
I think so, but the reason I kind of, you know, really like value that kind of thing is because it reminds me of how human connection is so important. And like you say, love is more people who love than the few who don't. And yeah, it's a real life thing where it's a reality that proves, that has an evidence to say that, you know, there's more love for us to get this far than hate, than fear. And so I think, you know, well, we're not depopulated just because somebody died from a virus or something. The majority still survive, and so that tells me that the human connection is so pure that the soul is like, yes, you're here, I'm here, and then there's somebody else, and it's further and wider, but then the soul is just intertwined, like just the one, and so I don't really know how to separate that feeling of love to the soul. I think that's just a one thing. And culture, traditional cultures like where I come from. I mean, it was so isolated. I grew up so isolated. There's no technology. Living in a stone age. When I say living in a stone age, people laughed at it, but it's true. I mean, we were pounding corn kernels with stones. Yeah, so it's not a makeup thing. And Western culture is quite a contrast. A lot of learning.
Yeah.
And when you moved to Byron, when was it that you moved to Byron?
I think I was 17,
Oh yes.
18,
Oh
something
yes.
like that.
Oh,
yeah.
around the time that you start to really explore music then.
Yeah, actually, I moved to Mullum first, Mullumbimby,
Yes.
up in the mountains at Wilson's Creek, and then I moved down to Byron because when I was a teenager, there was at that time was the early 80s, and there was the real hippie culture was
Oh yes.
big, and alternatives, the alternate scene, everybody's hippies, and so I kind of Mullum was kind of the heart of that, and then Byron around the mid 80s, Byron all of a sudden became an attraction because the abattoirs, the slaughterhouse closed down.
The whale slaughterhouse.
No, they used to kill the cows there.
Oh.
Yeah, where the epicenter was.
Oh yeah,
at Belongil.
in Belongil.
And so when that all closed down, it's like it was this mass movement to Byron by all the hippies.
So what happened back then? But there used to be a whale hunting.
Yeah, that was. I'm not sure.
Before the abattoir was closed, or was it?
They used to do it there with the whales.
Right.
But then that stopped, and then did the cows.
Right.
And so that was. I never used to come down to Byron before when that was happening.
And when did
because I've been vegan all my life.
Yeah, of course. When did the epicenter close? Which year was it?
I can't remember. It was the mid 90s or something.
Yeah.
To late 90s, I think it.
Because in those days there was a lot of musicians.
But it was a hub of creativity.
Of course.
Yeah, and the whole alternate scene was really blossoming.
Oh, there's a lot of big names.
Yeah.
Like that went there. And now they're also coming.
Yeah.
They were still coming to the Blues Fest.
But there was communities that started around the area, and the whole consciousness of people was really different in Byron. Then the demographic was different. So, and now it's different again.
Yes,
so
very
it's
different.
just change is a constant thing,
What was the best thing in those days that
just
other
the
than the
feeling
music and the
just the
alternative lifestyle?
Yeah, just that alternative lifestyle, the yearning to grow and to expand awareness, that was the whole theme, and it was strong community. Like there wasn't a day go by where I walked down the street and it took me, an hour to get from the beach to Fundy's, for example, or 2 hours, because you keep bumping into people and you'd know everybody. So there was a really strong community, cultural community vibe, because it was like a subculture within the culture, the local culture, because people were embracing like all different cultures from the world. It was become a very musical and spiritual melting pot, And there was buskers on the street everywhere. There was playing all different kinds of music, and there was people hawking, like selling jewelry or clothes on the street, and it's a very colourful place. And there was certain places that people go, like the markets, and then after the markets you go to the Belongil Cafe and everybody be dancing and playing music, and half of the crowd was naked, and the beach was just full of naked people, because we're just all experiencing and the feeling of freedom, freedom of expression.
Now to be naked, it's almost like taboo here.
Yeah.
But also Belongil Cafe then is the tree house now, yeah?
Yeah.
selling.
that was like a real...
Yeah, I mean,
like-
even up to the 2019, 2000, you know, just those before the 2009, before COVID, Treehouse was
BC,
still almost, yeah,
Yeah.
BC.
BC and AC.
I love it.
Second generation.
Second generation BC.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Before COVID. I can't get over it.
I don't like to say the words, so I say BC and
This
AC.
is new. I love it. I love it. It's gonna be, this gonna spread really quickly. Bringing Baron and the Baronians listening. BC. Yeah. Oh God, I can't even talk. The years of BC, of before COVID. I mean, Treehouse was still having that. We could still go and sit by the cafe, because the umbrella is right to the grass on the curbs, the roadside, and you'd sit with your coffee then, playing your own ukulele, your own guitar then. See a lot of locals. Now you go, there's like, nobody that I know. I went there a few days ago, last weekend, last Sunday, I think. And there were, other than a bunch of friends that I went with, there were two people that I know there. Michael, I think it's Michael, he works at the Blues Fest, a young guy, worked at the Blues Fest doing sound engineer as well. He was doing the sound there. And another friend that happened to be sitting on a table now at the salon. Nothing like before. Treehouse is just, it's nice setup, but not like before, not the same vibe.
Well, demographics changed.
Yes.
People's ideals, people's mentality of how they want to live.
Yes.
And I think technology, the advance of technology has really shaped people, the things that people do, and the cultural values,
Yes.
So, and I don't want to say good or bad, it's just,
Yes,
I don't understand a lot of what's going on now, because I grew up with a certain mentality, a certain way of doing things, and if I want to add some numbers up, I'll do it in my head, I don't have to go to or, if I want entertainment, I'll go and play my guitar, or I'll go for a walk on the beach. I'm not behind my phone.
Yeah.
But that's what the generation do now. That's how people communicate, is through devices. They're extending their awareness through that.
That even, I mean, during the ex-Prime Minister Julian, sorry, Miss Gillard, Julia Gillard.
Julia Gillard. Yeah.
She was pushing for every child to own a computer at school, right? So everything was to be done today, and then every kid has to work with Google, email, and all that now. So this is through school alone, and so there's a lot of other side of life that's not quiet. They also push it through educational system, even push to do even more with devices. I think I read, I'm not sure, I didn't check, but I have some kind of something that came along on social media, and I just read the title to say that one of the Scandinavian countries, I think it was maybe Sweden, they some schools were working with minimizing the usage of technology, of computer. Not to go against it, but for the well-being of the children.
Well, regardless of whether we like it or not, we're in the age of of technology advancing so quickly, like day by day now, not like year by year like it used to.
By the way, what do you think of people who are making music with AI now?
That's where I draw the line, because you're not making music. Somebody else has created it, and then they're assembling it based on, you might put in a bunch of words and then you'll say a style, because a friend of mine's doing it, so he's told me. So he'll put in his lyrics, and it'll ask what genre, what tempo, what da da da, and it'll not just give him one version, but give him 3 or 4 versions of that same song.
Yes.
And then he takes credit for it. But how can you take credit for that?
Yeah.
Because those computers have taken human beings' input from millions and millions of inputs and learned and analysed it and learnt how a good song will sound in that genre and da da da. So I believe in creativity from a human sense, you know, that it's like if I go into a studio to record, I want to know what I'm doing. I want to know that I can play that song from beginning to end.
You want to know what a C-sharp chord's like.
That's right, yeah. And I don't want to, like, if I've made a mistake in there, if it's one mistake and they fix it, yeah, fine. But I don't want them to change anything that I've done, the sound, the tone, you know, because if I can't put my expression into that as it is, and if somebody doesn't like it, at least I know that I can do something else to see if somebody will like what I've done,
Yes,
you know?
yes.
And it's called growth. It's called, you know, being creative. It's working hard, you know. To be a musician means consistency. So every night I go out on the street for 35 years and play my guitar because I want to get better at it. Because I want to get to the point where I'm not thinking about it. I'm just being played, letting my creativity flow. So AI and again, I don't know where it's heading.
Yes.
Humanity and AI are somehow, you know, related because it's come from us. The technology has been created from humans. However, now it's starting to stand alone to the point where I've even heard the computers have got their own language now.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I know a lot of incredible musicians. I mean, I've travelled the world and been in a lot of hotels, so I've seen a lot of artwork on the walls, you know, and that's because people have painted those art.
Exactly.
So what's going to happen with all these people that, okay, a company might say, oh, we need to fill these rooms full of artwork. You know, we've just built this resort in Byron, now we need to fill the rooms with artwork. What's the cheapest way? Oh, just go on AI and you can print out 100 artworks for like $100, you know, and they're amazing. They look amazing.
Of course they are.
However, to me, when I see this speaks to me, and when I see this
is an unfinished piece, and I started 20 years ago.
That's right.
And it's still not finished because it was come from a dream that I tried to
my
catch.
very point.
Nightmare.
Yeah, my very point.
Yeah.
Because it came from you. It came from an expression. It says something to me that no incredible AI generated picture will ever do. They're too perfect in a sense, you know, whereas this it's perfect in its imperfection.
I mean,
you know?
I did experiment with photographs on AI. Like, I have photos of myself and give AI command to say, create so and so and so with this cultural whatever dress and that sort of stuff. It takes my features. Has my lips, has my skin tone, my cheekbones, my brows, the hair, and that sort of stuff. But my skin is just flawless.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm just so divine. It's like I got thrown out of the sky.
Yeah.
Just like that, blended into that AI photo.
Yeah.
And the feeling was that, honestly, for someone who did that, I did it a few photos. The feeling was, if you're not with enough love for yourself, you just want to have goddamn plastic surgery. You want to go and do something to refine the broken nose, to refine the skin, to maybe add something more to the lips so it's more feeling, or fix the uneven part of the tooth, or the jawline, like how we are so critical, always find the smallest little thing of ourselves to find.
And why do we do
imperfection.
that? That's the
And
bottom
so that's
line.
what I'm saying. If you're not with enough confidence to know how much you love yourself, you will fall trap into this AI stuff, because it's so invitingly dangerous to display to always aiming to display perfection, the shading, the tone, the smoothness, the just, I mean, it still look like me. I say look, not doesn't look as I am, but just alike to me, because it borrows my features and alter it in more exotic way, or some more.
Well, it's an artificial expression of
and you become
interpretation. Yeah.
It's so toxic as well in a way, and I mean, you can make videos now, and you see all these guys with perfect voices, or perfect hair, perfect, everything is perfect, and you don't realize it's AI. You can see a girl as well like that. It's a crazy step where we are, field where we are in at the moment, and
it's an evolutionary
evolutionary,
point
but you know that we have to now be really strong with the people that we love every day in our life, to let them know that I do not agree with this, and speak up very clearly, and I don't want you to do that to yourself, kind of thing. But then, you know, like the pressure is, oh my God, crazy.
Yeah, well.
And movies, I think actors were like protesting about.
Yeah, because they can just generate
AI
people.
generated. They will lose the job.
It's interesting though, because I think regardless of what generation you grow up in, we all have this organic need inside us to feel the creativity, to feel, you know, I would sit here and be on the phone or whatever, but eventually people, I would get bored, you know, like I want to go and walk, I want to breathe here, I want to hear the waves, I want to go surfing, I want to, you know, listen to live music, I don't want to just see it on here, you know.
That's why, you know, I still go with you to all the live music, and I mean, like, there's nothing like those live music. You get to see how amazing these musicians are on stage, and when they come out of stage, and then the human being that they are before they goes to the stage, the precious soul that they are too, you know. I mean, witnessing Kingfish the other day when we watched them together, the whole band, they were really people of God. I mean,
well, before they went on, they huddled together and they said a prayer.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
And then there was one point, I don't know if you remember, but I was side stage and he did this. We were together, that's right. Yes. He did this solo, and I just the chills were on chills, and I fell on the ground. Dropped to the ground, yeah. Because that prayer all of a sudden was like answered, in a sense that the reason they were praying is so that they could do the best they possibly could, and they excelled that. And
but that's what I think. What our point is that you can listen to AI stuff, but you don't get the artist performance. You don't get the whole soul of that person showing.
Yeah, you get chills. Yeah.
And then like when he was singing that song before you fell on the floor about his mom. That was the one that got me, and I was like, "Don't cry, bitch."
That was the same song he sang, and then he did this solo after it.
That's right. It
was just mind blowing.
They are all incredible. But that's the thing, and then they come out, they say hello to you, they're so friendly. You can't get that with AI. You can't get a human connection, soul to soul connection.
Musicians like that give me a sense of, yes, the future is going to be okay.
And you don't mind paying money if you have to pay money, you know, because you're in support of each other. That's just the way it is. I mean, they don't just sit down and or just music come out of the blue. They have to practice every piece to perfection.
That's right, and that's the important thing of what we were talking about before. Is like you can go into a studio to record as a musician, or you can go in as a producer and just start taking bits, or like, okay, do that again, and you do 10 takes of the same thing, and I'll fix it up and da 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 da. But no, you want to go in there and to be in that space of magic, where you know what you're doing so well that you can just, those mistakes that you make, or like, how did I do that?
Yeah.
That was amazing. And the almost mistakes are the things that I'm always looking for. And when I'm playing, it's like, wow, that actually was, like, I wasn't thinking about anything, and I went through this, and what did I do? That was so amazing.
And like also when you're learning, when you're learning a piece, even if it's just you learn one bit at a time, when you realize the mistake that you keep making, that you don't progress. Once you realize it, that's the point that you're gonna remember. Or this is where I made the mistakes, and this is where I know it's going to be fixed this time. And every time you play it, you know it. Like the same technique with painting. When I try to figure out shading, because painting is about shading.
It's the one and the same things.
Yeah. I mean, you look at photography the same, because I did photography for many years, and I love portraits of people, but with photography, it's instant, you see. So with me, to capture the person, the real person that I know, is I don't ask them to pose. It's just candid. So they may be just turning slightly one way or another, but it's the perfect lighting, the perfect composition, the perfect angle of where I am in relation to them, that split second, it's when that's it. If you don't get it, you lost it. You've lost it, and it's really hard. So when I tell people to pose, it just never works, and I never tell people to pose. And so with that, because it's what you see, what you capture, to translate with the photos right away, you don't need Photoshop. At the end of the day, you look at the image like, wow, it's amazing. You might make it black and white to see what the ambience gives you, from color to black and white, which quite often is more classic. But a lot of it saves you a lot of trouble from going to Photoshop, and I don't use Photoshop. I don't like it, because some people erase their pores, I don't know, with
it's a common thing on a lot of social media platforms.
Now you have programs on your phone, apps on your phone, that it can put makeups. You just take ordinary looking pictures of me like this, like nothing special, right?
Don't talk about my sister like that.
You edit with these apps on your phone, and then they put all the beautiful makeups on, and you just change like that. And then you put it online, and then the next day somebody, let's say, sees me, if I put something like that, and they probably don't recognize that was me, or they question what the fuck happened to me overnight, the photo you put last night was nice, Francesca. This morning you don't look any... you're not recognizable. What the hell happened? Did you have such a bad nightmare that it alters your features? So that's kind of thing that I find with painting is all to do with the shading. So sometimes you can struggle. We tend to, some people struggle along with the hands and the shading on the fingers, and even just the shape of nails. And some people is along the hair, some people maybe around the eyes, some around the nostrils and the nose, because that's like very prominent, the facial thing. And then the lips, some of them around the lips or the jawline. And figuring out the shades around these areas can also be easy or cannot be easy. But if you if you sometimes, because you keep practicing, keep doing it, and you don't get it, it's not that person, and you don't get it, it's not the person that I know, you kept doing, until you did, you sit down one day and it's just like, I think I overdo it. I think it just need one simple stroke to adjust the shading, either to make it lighter or darker, and angle it in a perfect what you call angle of how the light falls, and you just go and do that, ding, and ta-da, and you feel like, I celebrate it every single time I do little fixings like that. I dance. I just start with my African dance, the African moves that Afro Moses teach me. I'll go, wow, dance, or whatever dance comes up. But I would just shaking up and dancing and really celebrate it, because I don't think I celebrated the fact that I figured it, but the fact that it's the endurance of not giving up on it. And it's like I thank myself that I didn't give up. Even it was on the smallest thing that I find it so extremely difficult. I didn't give up. I didn't need anyone to motivate me. I did it. And I was like, thank you. So I'm like celebrating myself for allowing that endurance. Absolutely ridiculous. But it's a small. It's an insignificant thing to talk about. But it happens like this, and music is a bit like this for me. When you showed me the scale a few weeks ago. I mean, Charles told me, you can stay in this A minor. Let's say if I say we play in A minor, and then you can just do the scales on A minor on and on for the whole song. So you can do that, because I thought you can do it, but I didn't know for sure. And of course I'm just and he goes like this, and then you came in and showed me more, and it's just fantastic feeling to. When I get bored with these paintings, and then I go and sit with the guitar, go and make on a backing track, and then play around. It's so wonderful. But like I learned to not try to fix everything in a one go, to learn everything in a one go, because my brain is so impatient. Or my character is also so impatient that I got to do it now, and I have to achieve it within a certain frame of time, and it's like rushing is not great. But if I learn one step at a time, it's like life. You can't rush it. You're 2 years old, you just can't force to be 14. You can't force to be 80 when you're 20. You can't force wisdom to be there when it's not there through experience. We might copy from other people's nice sayings, but it doesn't work. People see it right through what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, living experience.
And when, other than working on, because you had experience with working on cruise ship, how different was that?
It was great. I loved it. I mean, there was a certain vibe there because people were on holiday.
I mean, the fact that you're stuck in this thing that, like, exploring the ocean and on for days.
It was amazing.
Land and stuff.
No, it's amazing. I'd often, like, late at night, for example, when I had to finish up on the top deck.
Yes.
So I had 6 decks that I had to take care of with audio production gear.
6?
Yeah, and the top deck was like the pool area where a band would play late at night.
Wow.
And then I'd have to pack everything up because you can't leave things out because of the salt air. So you have to pack everything up at night.
Somebody would come on a microphone.
Yeah. So yeah, after that I'd usually walk up to the back of the boat and there was like a full moon, and I'd just be amazed that like everywhere I look is just water.
Wow. And the moon reflection.
And the moon, and then in the daytime, you might see occasionally we're getting close to Suva, and then we'd I'd see like islands, and it was a really expanding feeling, you know. And because I was working really hard too, it was like my whole focus was on the work.
The quality
But
of
then
it,
my environment was like this ancillary thing that was like, oh wow, I'm actually floating in a boat in a huge fucking ship that's floating on this ocean, and you know, and dealing with the
wave,
because coming out of Sydney
undulating
was
sea.
really rough,
Very
and I
undulating.
started feeling a little bit, but I just focused on my job, and I spoke to this one girl who worked there for like the last 7 years. She'd been on the ship. I said, how do you deal with this? She said, just don't think about it. And it's kind of in line with when I was working in the circus, like swinging a lot.
Oh yes.
I had to go, well, okay, it's perfectly normal. Somebody told me it's perfectly normal to be upside down and swinging, because it's a chemical thing. Your brain releases, or your inner ear releases. It's a balance center. So your balance center says to your brain, "Oh, get me upright," and so the chemical releases in the brain to make you feel sick, so that you lay down flat. But if you tell your brain it's okay, there's no problem, I'm on a ship and this is what happens, it's totally normal, fine, and it helped. And so when I was in the circus, I never got sick. In the beginning, I used to get a bit sick, but then after I started doing this, telling my mind it's okay, it got better and better.
Yeah.
So I just did the same thing on the ship, because at first I was getting a bit, and I was telling my brain it's okay to be floating. And then when I spoke to the little girl, she said, "Yeah, just keep, just don't think about it, and you'll be okay." And that's essentially the same thing. You're not giving the input to your brain that it's.
What kind of environment is it in a ship with people? I mean, obviously people are drinking and stuff. They're on their holidays, and what else can you do there?
Well,
really?
there were themes, so
They're swimming and stuff.
Yeah, so a lot of it was based on the theme of the tour was rock the boat. So you had all these different musicians that were playing rock and roll.
Yes.
And, you had a lot of tribute artists, the Elvis Presley tributes. And
do they dress like Elvis?
Yeah, they do. And some of them were one was the best one in the world, apparently.
Oh, really?
And I'd be side stage going, wow, that's Elvis. But no, it's not, isn't it? But it's...
And sounds like Elvis?
It looks and sounds like Elvis, and these moves, everything. So yeah, people were, I met a lot of really cool people, like you're talking about before, have to meet people in my industry. So I met all of the artists because I was working for them, and I met a lot of the people would see me because it's a ship, so they'd see me on all the different decks, and you'd get familiar to people, and then I'd recognise people that I'd see around, and so all of a sudden it's like a big village, floating village. You start to know all these people, and I tended to gravitate towards a few different people that were working on the boat as my in between my jobs. So I'd stop and say hello to a certain few people and
socializing.
Socialize during my work. So it's kind of exciting for me in that way. I was flat out, like from 7 a.m. till midnight. I was working pretty much.
That's just when you say midnight, that's when they finish the show, right?
Yeah, and then I have to pack up.
All that 6.
Yeah, I have to make sure that all of my equipment on the different stages at different times, they finish at different times. So say at 9 p.m. I have to go to the ballroom and pack up all of the gear there and take it back to I had like a storage area, really big storage area. These ships are huge.
Yes, I saw them.
And there's massive.
It's an incredible experience, though.
Yeah. It was good. I mean, a good experience.
You're like as though you're working on any dry land space.
Yeah.
But you're floating in the boat.
Yeah.
You're in Waterwall.
Yeah, that's right. And because I felt strong and good and I wasn't sick, I was really enjoying my work, you know,
That's
and enjoying the
right.
whole lifestyle of how people were living on the boats. I mean,
Could you imagine doing that kind of thing more often in your lifetime? As in,
no, I wouldn't work on a ship for years on end. No way.
okay.
No, I
And
like being on the land
what
more.
about when you eventually reach a land and take a break and go to this island?
Yeah, I went straight to when I went. I had a chance. I had a few hours, and
Just a few
yeah,
hours. Oh,
there was this island called Tifu.
Tifu.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like French Polynesia.
Yes.
So, and as soon as I got off the boat, I just met the coconut crew.
So
These
good.
young people with
You would have
coconuts.
loved coconut for sure.
And they were like carving up the coconuts, and so I'd go and talk to them, and then I met a few old mamas at the local market, which was just this one roof as big as this house, where they had a little market area. So they will basically bring in their wares when the ships come in.
Yes.
The rest of the time they're just living their lifestyle on their island. And
That's amazing.
yeah, so
And
it was
they would be so welcoming, so
so
warm.
beautiful. Like I made a real point to walk around and meet the local people, and so welcoming. And
Were you speaking French with them?
no, it wasn't. They spoke English, but they spoke French as well,
Yes,
but
yeah.
only broken English. So it was a lot of laughter.
But
And
can you speak French?
no, I can't speak French. I speak
Oh,
Spanish,
yes,
but not
Spanish,
French.
Spanish, yeah.
My French is literally ça va and toutoulou. That's
But
it.
funny,
And
you
ho,
know,
ho, ho.
every time I have a greeting with a French friend or like a family member. Ça va? 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 All on ça va, and that's it. When I see Lalo, our friend Lalo,
Yeah.
ça va? Ah, ça va, ça va, ça va. Ça va? Ça va, ça va. It's so hilarious. We are just, that's it, you know. How are you? Ah, all good, all good. And you, how are you? All good, all good. But
How's
it is
things?
ça. You know, what hilarious thing. Very interesting because the you see that's just on a language. The fact that you can say ça va repetitiously for two different people asking, hi, how are you, that sort of thing, oh, I'm good, it says the same thing. Culturally, you get away with it, and I'm talking culture, you get away with that. Where in English, ça va, you don't say ça va for how are you, and then ça va, all good again, and it's obviously sound different, right? How are you?
Yeah.
I'm good. It's two different things.
Yeah, it's like in Australia, people say, how's it going? Oh, not too bad.
Yeah.
How's it going? Not too bad.
Yeah, but you know, how is it going
Yeah.
to not too bad are two different sentences.
That's right.
Not ça va and then ça va and ça
Yeah,
va. And
that's right. Saba, yeah.
Oh,
Many meanings for the one word.
Culture
Yeah.
and language is
Yeah.
really, really amazing.
Yeah.
What is it like to be? Did you ever like travel and find yourself constantly having to speak Spanish to somebody?
When I was in Spain, yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Spain maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What was it like?
It was
it's
difficult
amazing
because
language.
it was because it was the first time I'd ever travelled by myself overseas. I'd been to Bali with a girlfriend maybe 25 years ago. But this was the trip I did on my own. I bought a round the world ticket, and I went east, and I landed in Santiago in Chile.
Wow.
And I was so naive. I didn't realize what you had to do to travel. You know, I thought I'll just go there, I'll be fine. I had like maybe $1,000 to do the whole around the world trip over 6 months. I ended up doing it in 2 weeks around the world. I think about sometimes.
But I love being.
I just kept going because I realized I didn't have enough money, and I didn't know how to. I didn't
I mean, how are you going to
trust
make money
myself
alone?
to make money. How am I going to survive? You know, and to play music. I just didn't know how I would do that. I just was very naive and not very savvy with traveling. I'd never traveled on my own.
Yeah, but I mean, it's so great because you did learn something.
Yeah,
and
I
you
learnt
went back.
so much. So I learnt it in Santiago, and so I had to straight away speak Spanish with people, and I had to get to some embassy to find out how I'd get a visa to get to, because I hadn't planned anything. So where I landed there, to get to my next destination, I needed a visa to go. Like,
so
what? What do I
unprepared.
need?
Yeah, so unprepared.
And so, yeah, to go to Brazil, I needed a visa.
Of
So
course,
I had to
every
go to the,
country.
yeah. So everywhere I landed, I had to go,
Asking for visa.
Yeah.
The money runs out so quickly.
yeah, really
Paying on
quick,
visa.
yeah. But I had a good time, and I met some cool people, and especially in Brazil.
Yeah.
I went to an island and just went surfing and met, because I had my guitar with
Yes,
me,
yes.
I looked like a little kind of hippie, long hair and
Guitar.
playing guitar. And so I walked down, we hopped off these beautiful skiffs, these like 80-foot skiffs, beautiful.
What's a skiff?
It's like a sailing boat, but they
Oh.
have an engine on them. But
Oh.
they were originally sailing boats, so like 150 years old. So you'd go from the mainland over to the island, Ilha Grande, big island.
Sí, sí.
And so I was walking down hopped off the boat, and walking down the walkway, the dock, and this policeman, I see him, he's looking at me and goes,
Unicorn.
come on.
Emergency.
I was like, okay. And I was with this other young guy, he was from Argentina, and he called him over too. So, come with me. So he took us down to the police station.
What?
And he said, I have to look for you have illegal substances. No,
What?
nada.
Because
And
you're the
so
last
I
person
didn't
to be
speak,
using drugs.
I speak Spanish, but I didn't speak Portuguese. So I was kind of speaking broken
Of course.
Portuguese that I did
Yeah.
know with Spanish,
Yeah.
and a bit of English. And so he said, yeah, I'll have to search you for, and I said, yeah, go ahead. And so I put my bag up, and then I put the guitar up. It says, tocas guitarra? You play guitar?
Yeah.
Go. And so I started playing this song.
Oh my God.
Manhã da bonita manhã de dia feliz que diga.
That's a beautiful song.
So I played this to him, and he goes, oh, cool. And he's, blah, blah, blah. He calls all his friends in, and we started playing, and they're all
So
dancing.
cool.
And he's putting all my things back in. And like, because of music, that common thing.
So
And he said, okay, you good. Any problems, you come and see me.
Oh,
Have a good
qué
time on the
bueno,
island,
bueno. Wow.
So, I know I went off a tangent there, but when I was that's kind of how I communicated in that country. And then when I was in Spain, I just spoke Spanish that I did know, not so fluent, but enough to get by,
Where did you go to in Spain?
I was in Madrid. And again, I just come from Brazil, and I landed straight in Brazil, so I had a singlet on and shorts,
It's expensive to be
and
in
it was
Madrid.
3 degrees.
No.
And I hopped off the plane, and it was like freezing. I didn't even have a jacket.
That's winter.
That's
You
how.
went in winter.
That's how unorganized I was with my first trip.
You just thought the world
I
was
just
all
hopped on the plane.
tropical,
Oh, going somewhere.
subtropical.
It's like, it's Europe. It's going to be cold. So
So
I remembered catching a train,
Yes.
the subway, the metro, it's called, into the city, and to stay warm, I just walked around. It was like
my goodness.
5 a.m. or 6 a.m. in the morning. There was nobody. It was like a ghost town. Because later I realised people don't get up until 11 a.m. and have their breakfast, and
It's cold.
the first cars started happening around about 10 a.m. You see a car very often. But I was literally walking around the city as fast as I could to keep warm. I have to laugh at myself now. This is
Oh
how-
my God! What an
So then I stayed there for the day,
yeah.
and then I hopped on a plane and went to Thailand from there.
Just for the day.
Yeah, just for the day.
What a trip! It's
So
like the trip around the world.
it
So
was
good.
around the world in less than 80 days, you know.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, yeah.
So good.
But it taught me, it grew me up really quick, you know, because
Oh yes.
I was in some situations of like,
But whether you
wow.
like it or not, you learn big time
Yeah,
from
I
that.
learned,
I mean,
yeah.
just the innocence of
Yeah.
not knowing that you need, not being aware that
jacket.
you need to apply for visa every time you enter
That's
a
right,
border
yeah.
to a
So
different country.
it taught me logistics, you know.
At least you managed to get a passport. You
Yeah.
didn't just buy the ticket.
I bought my passport.
Organize the passport
Yeah.
before you bought the ticket.
Yeah. Actually, I think it was 30 years ago now that I did that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I think I just turned 30.
But we all have funny stuff like
Yeah.
that we don't realize. We look back and
Yeah.
I mean, it's embarrassing to, as much as embarrassing it can be when you were young.
And difficult,
but you look
yeah.
back, you wouldn't want to erase any of
No,
that
not at
because
all,
you
yeah.
so much lessons from it that
Yeah.
if it wasn't for those things, you wouldn't be sorting yourself up
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
As to
And
be
then
where you are now.
Yeah, and then from Thailand to Australia, the plane. Oh no, it was.
Oh yeah, the contrast would be crazy.
Yeah, but the
Europe
plane
to
actually broke
Asia.
down. Like
What?
we're in the air, and then all of a sudden you can smell smoke.
No.
And like the captain said, "Oh, we have to, as you know, there's smoke in the cabin. We have to do an emergency landing."
So where did
Couldn't
you
hear a
learn?
pin
Where
drop.
did you learn?
We ended up landing. We took off from Bangkok, then we landed in Singapore because it had to detour.
Right,
And
right.
so that was my first and hopefully
So
last
landing
experience
to Singapore by accident.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and we landed, and then I was put in like the presidential suite in this hotel. It was amazing.
No way.
Yeah, this hippie kid in this presidential suite.
That's so good.
But yeah, it was quite a
These days they
a
just
lot
let
of-
you stranded on an airport.
yeah, not now.
You
Like,
got a
because it was
presidential
potential.
landing, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely an emergency landing.
Yeah.
They had to drop like 15 tons of aviation fuel.
So when you get to Thailand, that's a serious.
No, so we took off from Thailand. It was British
you took-
Airways,
oh,
and then
right.
we had to land in Singapore,
In
which is a
Singapore.
few hours from.
So I thought that also the plane.
We were heading to Sydney,
when
but it had to
was
detour
on your
to
way
Singapore.
from Sydney. So
Yeah.
I misunderstood. I thought it was from Spain.
Oh,
to
from
Thailand.
Spain to Thailand, then
Was
from
safe.
Thailand.
Yeah,
I
it
was in Thailand for maybe 4 or 5 days because it was warm and I had a little bit of money left.
Was it cheaper as well then? Or-
Yeah. But for me then, I didn't have, the planning ability to know how much money I needed, so I was pretty like scratching on the edge of.
Yeah.
I had to literally think, okay, I've got to catch the plane to the next destination, then hop straight on the next one, just so that I can survive until I get home. So my round the world trip was like not what I expected it to be,
But still okay.
but
Still-
it was an experience. It was
Yeah,
what I
it's-
needed,
Yeah.
and it taught me so much about like how to manage my.
What were you doing in Thailand for those days?
I just went to the beach and
Oh yeah.
walked around. I did a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Through my life, the common thing that I've done a lot is walk.
Like me.
Yeah.
I love walking. I don't mind it. Yeah, I can walk. Walk. I think easily, I don't know, 20 kilometers maybe in a day at least, easily without stopping though.
Yeah.
And that will be when I start to feel like, like I need to rest. But if it's not shady, I might struggle because I do like to walk in the shade. In when Byron, you're the one who makes Byron Theatre part of the community, the Byron Community Center. Byron Theatre wouldn't be Byron Theatre without you, because I saw you. I saw you I saw you every single day building Byron Theta, putting everything on together alone, doing it alone, a lot of hard works. And I'm pretty sure you get paid peanuts. That thing. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to polish that because I thought you deserved a lot of credit for that, and nobody knows that you're the one behind making Byron Theta what it is now. It's accommodating that many people every single day, and it's so beautifully functioned. It was an incredible hard work, but devotion. I think it's a space in the community that nobody knows. Because you walk in like, oh, it's beautiful, but never thought about who's the person behind building all of that. And it's you.
Well, I'm one person in the...
Well, you're one person, but you did the hardest works.
Well, I just did what I knew to do.
Or did you learn a lot from that, yeah? From building that?
Yeah, and about organisations and people too.
And people, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good while it lasted.
How long did it take to set it up, to make it what it is? How many years was it?
I was there 7 years.
7 years.
And
long time.
And pretty much, I think it had been built for 3 years before I went in there. But I knew it as the community centre before, when it was the old building. You would have remembered that too.
Yeah.
And so I had a certain concept of what it was about, it's a community centre.
Yes.
And so a lot of my time working there was based on my understanding of what it meant, what it served, and it's the community. And so, there was certain times where I felt there was discrepancies around that, and ultimately that's why I left. But I think it's a wonderful place for the community, and I wouldn't say it's affordable like it used to be for the community. No. But yeah, it was great to work there and to hone my skills and working in a theatre, because I'd never worked in a theatre before. I'd always been live production, like concerts and venues, and so to work on my own there and to build the sound systems. I mean, they're different now. The equipment in there, every so often things get upgraded.
Yes, of course.
So the equipment that was in there when I started was different than when I left. I got worked with a grant application guy, and we got grants to get audio and lighting upgrades. So I did that, and so I felt good about what I'd achieved there, and felt happy to move on too.
7 solid years.
Yeah, it was.
From morning to morning, you were running around.
Yeah.
I remember that, and I really like that. That's another thing, like Bay FM, right above that. I think you and Sean.
Yeah.
Sean built Bay FM. You doing the theatre, Byron Theatre.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible? The two of you, almost at the same period, building iconic part of the community, of the Byron community, that is so functional and useful to the community.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because Bay FM and the community centre, there's a little studio in between them two, with a glass windows that looks into the theatre.
Yes.
And it was always blacked out, and I was always saying to the committee, why can't we open community centre and the Bay FM to do live broadcasts, like if there's a show on, put it on air,
Yes.
And that was the plan, but there seemed to be some kind of rift between them.
Yes.
So eventually the production manager in the Bay FM and me, we got the committee of the Bay FM and the community centre to talk to each other enough to go, okay, well, we'll let you do something there.
Yes.
So we installed audio cables to run to the studio up there, so that they could actually live interface with the shows and record it. So one of the guys, I forget his name now, he was an American guy.
Richard?
Yeah, Richard and I, we worked together really closely to organise
the
that.
only reason I know Richard, because when I was doing Bay FM, he was there too.
He's a great guy.
He's amazing.
I love
He's
Richard.
lovely.
So yeah, between him and me, we had this really good working relationship, and we got a few of the shows recorded and interfaced.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think when you get organisations of hierarchies that kind of dictate things,
Complicated stuff. Yeah.
yeah, it didn't really last, and I don't even know if it's being used now for that. So,
that's interesting.
but that's why it was built in the first place. So,
yes, for
for
community.
me, it's like, well, if you got something functional for a reason, why not use it? You know. And
it's really good. It's surfing the community anyway.
Yeah.
And that's why I had a conversation with Sean. I mean, he hadn't come to the postcard, but he will more likely this week. And he mentioned, we had really beautiful conversation. He's a beautiful man, this guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, he is very much within the same frame mind as you, where what you can offer to the community, how to make sure the community is a priority, and it is not to do with this ego, this status, this bureaucratic whatever things. Leave that behind and be professional and be the voice of the community and work with what's for the community is about.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I used to love working with Sean in that capacity, as well as Richard and Sean. I worked with him many years at the Blues Festival, and he was the stage manager there for many years at the main stage.
Beautiful.
As always, I became really good friends with him there.
He's a beautiful
and I love and adore him. He's an amazing person. He's been through a lot in life, and he's still maintained a sense of integrity and professionalism that is inspiring.
He's very gentle.
Yeah. Every time I see him, it's like, he's my big brother, you know.
Good gossip. I love good gossips about beautiful people.
Yeah.
He's one of these really fantastic people around.
Yeah, he's one of.
It's nice that he's still around. He's still here.
Yeah, he's a true elder of the community now. You know that.
Yeah.
He's definitely gained my respect over the years. And
I mean that's the one hub community, or if you could still call it community hub. That still stand until today in Barn from the olden days, because buildings are like always altering now. You just 6 months something else, and another 6 months another empty space replaced with another business or another something else.
And the demographic dictates what kind of structures are happening.
From hardly any burgers place to few burgers place here now. And I mean, the old curry house is gone. It was one of the long time standing restaurants in Barron, other than the balcony. And now it's Mexican Cantina, which is still very quite nice. But you know, the shop next to Mexican Cantina, the one with the rags, the scallion rags, that's one of a long time iconic. And it has the rainbow.
Yeah, next door,
Rainbow shop. Rainbow shop.
Rainbow shop. Yeah,
Rainbow shop. That's so Barron.
Yeah, they're probably one of the last two that is still survived.
Oh, that's and Happy High Herb still here.
Yeah, that's. I think it's still there.
Yeah, it's on the other side towards where the skate park now. Towards that way. So Barron, you know, like I see, it changed in many ways. Only some things remain the same. I mean, we have a big skate park now, which is really nice. The skate park. A lot of peaceful people going and skate there, so it's really quite a nice part for the community to have for the younger people. I mean, all ages go there anyway.
Yeah, well, I went there with the kids, the boys.
And with surfing, did you ever surf? Like seriously for everyday kind of thing?
Yeah, in my teenage and 20s and 30s, I surfed a lot. Especially in my...
Not so much now because you don't have time.
I go swimming a lot now.
Yeah.
And what free time I have, I just... I don't know, the more years I live, I just want to focus on the thing that's most important to me in my life, and that's my guitar, playing music.
And you work a lot with the music shops, you know, because the music shop in Barron have different owners now, and you've always have great engagement.
35 years they've been going, Byron Music, and
It's back to the old spot.
not
Because
quite. It
not
was on
next
the
to
other
it.
side.
Yeah.
No, where it is now is, so you got Woolies, and then on the right-hand side, and then you had a left-hand side.
Yeah.
Before they redone all of those buildings there.
Because it
behind
used to
the
be
cinema.
in that same location before they went to the...
No, it was in the same Woolies car park, but on the left side, not the right side. So you know how you go into Woolies? They built all that new complex there.
Yes. Oh, yes.
It was in one of the shops
That's
that's not
right.
there anymore.
I got confused. Oh my goodness.
Where
Do you see the change? It's
Yeah.
complicated. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was...
You know where you drive down to the car park? Well, that was shops there.
I know. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I can't believe that
They
I
built
got so
the big
mixed.
Woolies.
Yes. And there used to be another little shop that they sell clothes, like
Yeah,
nice cotton.
And there's a cafe there.
Yes.
And that was a really popular place for a long time.
Baronian Cafe was very popular. It's gone now. It's Commonwealth Bank.
Yeah.
The railway park used to be so different.
Yeah.
A few things are so...
They've tidied it up.
It's so posh.
That's all right.
Not posh,
Demographic
but it's nice.
changes,
It's still. It's like what the good thing with that park. It just feels safer. Because there's lightings and stuff. So there's some things that change for really good.
Yeah, definitely. The most important thing is the trees. The cotton trees in the middle are still there.
Yeah, that's true. The cotton trees is.
Yeah,
I
because
can
that's
never
seen
imagine,
generations of kids playing in.
I mean the big fig tree at the railway is gone.
Yeah.
Got ripped off by the storm. And who else? Where else were you? I mean, you work with setting up studios for people too. Huh? What's the experience like helping setting up people's private studios to when you do it at community center and then...
Oh, well, that's a different thing. I mean, doing installations is more of technicalities, you know, so you're installing hardware, you're working close by with builders and, you know, painters, chippies, and, you know, you're navigating through all of that at different stages to, you know, put wiring in walls. And then you have to wait until they're finished to install speakers, and then you have to wait for the carpet to go in before you can put in, you know, the consoles and all of the outboard hardware and computers, and it's a lot of wiring goes on, and you know, a lot of technicalities.
You know, like when we walk into a studio, you see things that are set up, but that's the thing that I noticed. Many of us have no clue that these are really expensive equipment. We can't just come stumbling down and everything is extra care, you know. How expensive, what's the cheapest studio? What range of money is the cheapest studio that you've ever participated in setting up?
My own. The cheapest is my own.
This is like
the thing is, you can have a really high quality studio with your Apple Mac and two decent microphones and a good camera, you know, now, because you've got the software, high quality software now that you can record, and so like the cheapest would be like my setup, which is just my computer, and I don't even have speakers. It's got, like you, I've got just headphones and so, and I can take that anywhere I go in the world and create really high quality recordings. But then I've worked in $1 million studios just recently, even up in Mullum Creek. You know, there's a studio that's just started there, and they, just building the studio alone without all of the infrastructure was like the internal equipment. That probably would have cost a cool $1 million, you know. But then, you know, because you got double glazed glass and you got double walls, and
of course.
But then, wiring up speakers and installing all the console and monitor speakers, it's millions. It costs millions.
How long does it take to build something of that caliber?
It just depends on whether you're installing in a studio that's being built.
Yes.
or in a studio that's already there and you're upgrading things.
If you were to start from scratch?
Start from scratch, the building has to be built and everything.
Yeah, everything.
Well, I
Todos.
guess it could take anywhere up to 12 months, you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
Does take time.
just to build a studio.
Now we understand
And to
why
install
going into the studio, it's expensive to use a studio for 1 hour.
Yeah. And then, you know, the technicians are qualified. They have to know what they're doing to provide a high quality service, because that's going to go worldwide. You know, what you're recording is going to go worldwide, you know, on your phone, or it used to be on records, CDs, but now it's on people's phones, you know, they download what they like.
Can you explain to us dummies, okay, not to musicians who knows what they're doing, of course, just to people like me, about the production of a musical track, let's say, other than, okay, there is the singer who writes a song and then do the chords and all that, and then the instruments choices and beyond that, but the technicality, because you have to record it and you've got to master it, eventually you have to master it, okay, from when you start recording, the process until you master it, what does it involve? Can you run?
So the very first thing is, whoever's producing the music for the artist, they have to get together with the artist and have a meeting,
right,
and go, okay, what do you want to achieve? What's your music? Have you got a demo of your music? Can you know, most artists will have a demo of some of their songs, you know, like they've recorded on their phone or something, and so basically the format is getting to know the artist and the producer, and what role the producer's going to take in the actual production of, you know, what it's going to ultimately sound like, you know. So what percentage is that going to be, and is the artist going to have their own, do they have a management that's going to tell the producer what they want? So it's touching base. Communication is the first port, and money, you know, basically too, is like, you know, what's the logistics of recording and how long is it going to take, and, you know, what's the art, how efficient is the artist in producing that music, like getting down to nuts and bolts. Can that artist play their song through from top to tail without a mistake? And if they do, that's okay, if we can fix that. But is it going? I mean, I've been in the studio with people recording who've been really professional and some who aren't. And some of the non-professional ones are so good at getting it down that they hardly make a mistake. And some are like so raw, they make a mistake after mistake after mistake, because the red button syndrome happens. As soon as the red button gets pushed, the record button, they like, oh. And I've been in that situation. It's like self-conscious of, like, oh, I hope I do it right, and then you make a mistake. You trip over your lip.
Instant nervousness.
Yeah. So there's many things have to be taken into account in that preliminary meeting. The introductions of everybody, and the logistics, how much it's going to cost, according to the experience of the musician. Do you need to hire in session musicians? So getting a basic structure and format of the songs, and what genre, what they're going to sound like, what the end result's going to be, you know, like having a format, a map. So yeah, basically the artist and the producer, the studio engineer. There might be a studio producer and an engineer, so they have different roles, or they might be the same person, you know, depending on how big the studio is and how popular it is, you know. So in most really big studios like ABC Studios, there'll be a production manager, there'll be a technician, there'll be a technical assistant, there'll be lots of different people involved, you know. But in a smaller studio, there might be one person doing the whole lot.
Right.
You know, it just depends. You're catering for your pocket, basically. You're budgeting to how much you can afford. So if you know that you're, you know, a popular artist and you've got regular tours and that, you can go into a studio that's got all of that high-end gear and producers and liaisons and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And so, and then that studio will actually take care of all your promotion and your you know, the logistics of your formatting your product at the end and promoting it and everything. So,
Yeah.
but a small studio will give you ideas, or they might have cheaper versions of that. So there's many different things, but yeah, the whole process is starts with the communication, and then that sets the pace for the rest, you know. So I've worked with people who can play their songs, but as soon as that red button goes, they kind of start losing it a bit, you know. So it takes twice as long as what they thought it was going to take.
Right.
So then you have to go, well, it's going to cost this extra now because,
Of course.
you know. And so, yeah, when you're in a bigger studio, you have to actually sign a contract of, okay, this is if you can't do it by this time that we estimate that you'll be able to do it, based on the fact that we've seen you in a rehearsal. So usually they'll come in and they'll give you a look, you know, they'll set you up in the studio and you do a demo track, basically, so the producer can see if he wants to actually do it and get an estimate of how long it's going to take. If you've got endless supply of money, then it doesn't matter. Like if you're the Rolling Stones, you've got your own studio and it doesn't matter how long it takes.
Yeah.
But for some people, they don't have that luxury.
Yes.
And not saying that, you know, people who've got their own studio, they've worked hard to get to that point where they've got a studio. Like the Rolling Stones, of 60 years of, you know, they've earned to have their own studio. And,
Yes, yes.
you know, not that anybody else doesn't, but they've actually put so much time and energy into it that, you know, the money side of things isn't an issue.
Right.
So for the majority of people, 95% of people, the money is the thing, because you got to invest into your product to get something to sell, you know.
Yes, for sure.
And that's what recording's all about. It's a business. It's about getting yourself promoted and selling yourself to people so they like you and come to your concerts and buy you, keep you happening as a musician. So a good producer will support, and management will support the artist in that growth, because it's a business growth. You know, any good musician that's successful, they're successful because they've had a good business plan, they've got a good product, but it's how it's been presented to the public that's important, you know. So, yeah.
So from the process of recording, then within the recording thing, how do you then end up with, coming to master?
Yeah, gotcha. Sorry, I went off on a bit of a
that's okay.
tangent.
That's perfect. It's so interesting.
So basically, you have the first process, which is the communication. Then you have the initial bones of the songs that you want to record. So the producer might have an example track that you work by, a certain genre and style, and then you know exactly what you want to kind of not copy, but that's the style. Like, for example, the drums and bass in reggae is really up there in the mix. So you listen to that to get an idea, but ultimately you go in the studio and you cut a demo track, like an initial track that is like you work off that. So you might be working to a click drum, or you might do a live recording with the whole band. There's many different ways to record. So you might all be so good at the songs that you're doing, you all go into the studio in separate rooms and lay it down live. But the creative process might be different somebody else, so they need to do a guide track to start with. So that's like the drums might go in there and just play time.
Yes.
And you might be playing the acoustic guitar and singing a vocal next to it. And that becomes the guide for you to then go in and then play the guitar properly and do the drum track. So usually bass and drums go in and do their thing first. So you've got the guide track, then you do drums and bass, then you do guitars and keys, and then vocals are usually you'll have the guide vocal in there, but usually they're the last thing because you get them sitting in the mix right, you know.
Yeah.
So once that's all done, you've done the guide tracks, then you've done the real tracks, then it's studio time where the engineer's in there with the producer and the artist mixing. So you're mixing just like live.
Yeah, before.
So you're only on the second stage. So you're mixing it, getting all of the instruments in the right place. So, you know, you might have the backing vocals left and right, back a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You might have the vocals sitting right up front. You might have the one guitar on the right, one on the left. You have the keyboards panned left and right. So everything's in a three-dimensional space.
Mm.
So then you've got to actually create atmosphere. So that's where the next stage comes in. After mixing, you've then got to do all of the like effects processing. So like making the voice sound clear, so using compressors and different, things called DSs that take out sibilance and popping sounds. And so you've got to engineer the sound so that it's clear and EQ everything so that, for example, the vocals, you roll out all the frequencies that are not in that vocal range so that it's not filling space.
Right.
So you're decluttering, basically. You're mixing, decluttering, and getting a good overall sound.
Yeah.
And then once that's done, everybody's happy, then that gets sent off to the mastering suite, which then EQs and effects
so that's the final stage.
yeah, what that finally does is gives that ambience life, basically creates a more of a depth perception.
Wow.
So anything that's pan and within the stereo field, it gives it depth perception as well as left and right.
Yes.
So you can actually listen and go, wow, that's way back there. You've listened to things in the headphones, you go, wow, where's that coming from? And then it might go, yeah. It's like it gives you a sense of you're standing in the middle of a room or in the middle of a field and there's blue sky and there's mountains. That's an atmosphere.
Yes, yes.
Or you're in a stadium, that's an atmosphere.
Or
you're in a forest.
Church hall.
Yeah, or in your church hall. So according to the vibe that you're trying to create with the producer and the music, you go, okay, this music's got to sound like it's in a big open field, or it's got to sound like it's in a church, or it's got to sound
in front of a lake or something.
yeah, or it's a sad song, so it's melancholy, so it's got to sound like it's raining, or it's like that melancholy vibe. So there's many different tools to help support that emotive expression. So that gets pretty much done in the mix, but the biggest place that it gets brought to life is in the mastering. So having good mastering skills.
So does the studio, do studios generally send the mixing result to another person?
Yeah, usually a high-end studio will have a mastering suite as well. But these days now with technology...
Do you have high-end studios here in Byron?
There is, yeah. There's
many or just...
There's quite a few now. Oh. Like I just worked in one a few months ago, and there's a new one being built up at Kyogle somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. So in this area alone, you've got Rocking Horse, Music Farm. They're the oldest ones. And then you've got now many different independent people. There must be 100 studios in this area, but there's probably a dozen really high-end ones. But the thing is now with technology, there's the applications are there that anybody can go in and create really high quality and mastered.
Yeah, you get.
I mean, I do it on my computer. I master my own mixes because it costs a lot to take them to the mastering suite. But
you're lucky to know what you're doing as well.
Yeah.
To use the software, you know how to.
Yeah. So so depending on your stability and your sense of financial stability is how much you can afford to put into a studio, and then you got to have reputation, and then you got to attract artists that are coming in. And so now it's getting interesting because of technology now, because people just record things on their phone, or they use AI now to go, we'll record this, create this song. So I'm starting to see the impact in different areas of my industry where that's affecting, and studios is one of them.
They're going to suffer, you think, to a degree?
To a certain degree, because people will just go on their own computer and create something rather than go to the studio. So it's interesting. But for me personally, I want to still keep my connection with my organic side of just being able to play an instrument and hear it analog and organically, and see people moved, and see people when I'm playing, see them all of a sudden their attention come over because they like what they're feeling and seeing, so they'll start dancing, I love it when people come in, a couple for example, and they'll just start dancing together. To me, that's the ultimate.
Yes, that's beautiful.
That's the ultimate. Yeah.
Don't panic. It's organic.
Yeah. So, and I'm not putting down. I mean, people.
No, it's beautiful.
Now can't afford. I mean, look, the cost of living is so high, and so people use technology now to their advantage because they can afford that.
Yes.
They can't afford a studio, but the paradox is, well, the studio is a place of creativity where you can go and be creative. And whereas the computer, you can still do that if you're using a microphone, but if you're using it to create music, not yourself, but putting input in and say, please make this for me.
Yeah, but also in a way you become less dependent of each other, in form of interaction with other people.
Yeah,
you
that's
become more
insular.
isolated to your devices.
It becomes very insular.
Yeah, and you don't build the classic old ways of interacting the producers, because these are humans, and with these, and that was how we form as a society.
Right. Yeah.
That's why we say the community of musicians, because of all that working together. So not just a musician and musician plays together.
Yeah. I love it when I'm touring, because I've been touring so long and working in so many different venues. When I go to those venues, I see those people I've worked with before, and it's like, oh, hey, and, and there's this excitement because it's human, it's recognised, and it's there's this warmth,
I mean, even let's say purchasing or exchanging instruments from each other. Like some friends, they swap instruments. Like, I really love your guitar, but then they say, I'll give it to you if you trade me that one that I really like. Do we do that? And then some of them just sell, like, oh, I'm leaving the country, you want to buy my guitar because you love my guitar. Just on an interaction, and then maybe we buy a guitar from somebody else as a present to another friend who we know there's a good quality bass or guitar or sitar. And then now you can just buy the software and then play this in forms of a piano sound or a keyboard or something sound, a guitar sound, like the imitations of sound, which already using softwares and AI. You can just play the buttons and use the buttons rather than having the community interaction to trade something.
Well, that's culture, isn't it? That's the root of culture, is the communication.
And when you are doing it so solo like that, then I guess you don't really have a story behind it to say, oh, I work with this person. Because you just say, I'm using the software, I'm working with the computer. You don't really have a story to your album. To how...
It's interesting that, because, again, my close friend, I won't say names, he's been playing music all his life. He's an amazing musician. And he's written songs. And now he's really old and he's putting them into that. And I'm disappointed. You know, I haven't told him I'm disappointed because I don't know,
He's using AI.
But he knows that I have said to him that I'd rather hear your music than that. I think, you know, what you've created there, I like your lyrics, but that's... The computer's made all that music for you.
I wonder if we are talking about the same person.
No, you wouldn't know him.
Okay. Because there's a local musician also. He's very experienced, very good musician. I had a chat with him about AI, like maybe late last year sometime, during his performance in town, and he's I don't know whether he's very pro, but he's not against it. He's a musician. He's like, well, you can either use it or you fall behind.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not against it. I'm just looking at the reality of it and what's happening. And I'm choosing not to use it. I don't even know how to use it. But seeing people who are amazing musicians using it and then them not being musicians anymore, like, because they're depending on that. I don't agree with that. I don't particularly... I'm not happy about that. Although I'm not against it, you know, I'm just not happy about it. I'd rather see him playing his drums and singing than, you know, something that he's actually really excited about it. But that's what I can't fathom, because he's excited about something that's been created that he had nothing to do with. He only just wrote some words down and put it in and told it what he wanted to hear.
I mean, I could easily do it.
But he's excited about that. And I can't understand that. Maybe I'm missing something, but I'm not excited about what keeps sending me. He keeps sending me these songs, and the more I hear them, it just sounds like everything else that I've heard in my life. You know, it doesn't sound like him anymore.
But that's what AI is. AI isn't... AI doesn't care about facts. It doesn't care about who you are. AI just gathers data. It's not about being... AI just gathers whatever data is available there and then push it to you. Not about... just, you know, the truth about...
I want to hear me playing. I don't want to hear something else.
And the data doesn't mean it's always factual. Data is just something somebody put there.
You look at I used to look at YouTube occasionally at a sci-fi movie or something, and now the more I look for, the more I turn it off, because I can't. To me it's so I can't follow the process of it.
A lot of information.
And it's fake.
Some of them are really not... I don't know why it would be entertaining. And like on Instagram, right? My friend convinced me to use it. And I'm learning to use it. It's so frustrating because a lot of the things that push onto your feed... what's it called? Explore. I'm not sure what it is. I think something like this. And they say it's an algorithm, but I don't know whether it's true or not. But it's just so weird because it's not based on the important contents. That's really meaningful contents. these things. There's some really amazing artists that I've seen. I was like, wow, not necessarily painting, just music or something, and they were like, oh, incredible. Okay, and I've seen them performing live, and they're like touring around the world, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so in love. I look at them and listening to their music, and it's just like, I just become so in love with them as an artist. And then their social media not getting enough attention at all. What gets attention is like this random some user who have taken someone else's video, and he created a 2-frame video within a video, and he's just in that bottom frame of a video pointing up like this to the other video that he's copied, and then replay as his story, repost it on his storyline, and that's what get attention. This guy who owned, or this woman who owned the account and pointing a finger like this, saying nothing else, they get like hundreds of thousands of viewers on that video alone, talking crap. And I think, wow, this is what it is. It's so disappointing because
human consciousness needs to really not be left behind.
I just Instagram really doesn't. I don't know what the purpose of it, because it's owned by the same person who owns Facebook.
Yeah.
And then she still owns also the other thing called Thread or something.
Thread, yeah.
Thread. Is that how you say Thread?
Thread, I think.
Because I said Thread.
Yeah, Thread.
Thread, yeah. What's all the point? And three things that function about the same thing. I mean, not exactly the same thing, but it's not quality content at all. It's just about the click. It reminds me of the sensationalization in television, where you don't need to tell the truth. You just need to be the first to say something.
Isn't that called the 6:30 news?
I have no idea. Yeah. Well, you need to just be the one who says something first. To be the first, not necessarily that it's
mainstream
telling
media
something true though, and it's very disturbing.
It's destructive.
And people watch it. And
look what's going on in the world now.
Yeah, but because if you're the one to say first, quite often people just blatantly believe that. They think, oh yeah, because it's on the television. But I think there's also a lot of people waking up there.
And that's the same thing as with the AI generated movies now. Like I was saying, I used to watch like the YouTube movies, but now they're not real anymore. They're actually so far removed from reality that I can't relate to them,
I don't think it's bad if we use AI to correct things. Let's say we're working on a piece of something that we are not, like problem solvings, and we don't know how to solve that, and then we don't have the necessary, the qualified friends or help through human being or another knowledge source to say, I'm going to get this help to help me get through this section because I'm having trouble. I think if you use it in that way, I mean, it could be super helpful.
Yeah. Well, it's like these. All of a sudden, one day somebody decided that person in the back needs to hear what I'm saying, so we created a microphone.
Yeah, but the problem is
it's
I just forgot to press record we've been talking for so many hours, and I forgot to press the record buttons on the audio. I mean, so for most of this video, for most of this podcast, we're going to hear some really shit quality voices because it's so far away. We're going to rely on one camera there that is not the best audio. And I'm so sorry because it's my fault. This is what happened when your sibling, who's a sound engineer, he comes here, got distracted, and I just didn't remind you to check everything for me.
It's all right.
But it's my responsibility as a host. I mean, for Christ's sake. and I was thinking, I better make sure that my brother gets his voice well, everything connected, all that. You're the sound engineering, and I say, I don't want people to say so much for the sound engineering, and then the sound is crappy, and it's just so shit that it happens.
Well,
Well,
if
that
it doesn't sound good, we can do it again or work it out.
so sorry, but like I mean, there's one sound there on the iPad,
it
and
should
that's
be all right.
about it.
Yeah.
But
it's not on the camera. Eh?
no, not on
Okay.
that camera, because you will have to wear a microphone for that.
Yeah.
So crappy. It's so crappy. I'm really so sorry.
That's okay.
It's such a.
Well, I'm happy if you want to do it again.
I don't.
I like talking.
Absolutely, I don't mind it. It's really beautiful. It's really, but it's so fantastic to learn about all that, because it's an aspect that, like, many people know you. Many people know you. Way too many people, and they don't know to the depth of what you do professionally. They just thought you just somebody who play in the street for free. Most people know you for that. And sometimes when they ask me, but how you related to him, I say, we are adopted siblings. And okay, it makes sense. because you are a lot darker than him. I say, yeah, I am. But then they start asking, because then when they learn that we are siblings, then they start asking, what you do? And I say, he's a professional sound engineer. And really? He does this? I say, yeah.
It's kind of like a dual life, isn't
Pardon?
it? It's like a dual life I live.
Well, it's nice to be mysterious, what I realize. It's nice to be mysterious without wanting to be, because you don't show off with what good things you do. And when people are, when people come across, not that they want to put you in a mysterious category, but of course someone unknown and unfamiliar to them, and then they find you very interesting, and they love you as a musician. They don't know how else to connect with you, and they get a bit shy. Maybe they feel like too much to come into your space and try to connect on a personal level. Of course, they're going to try to find the one who associates with you to figure out who is he. And then I let out a little bit at the time, and I love the how they received you, because it's all surprise, and in a very good way, in a really positive way. And I know that many friends, when they play with you, they're like, I played with one, it was so good. It was so good, I played with one. And then also when sometimes, I like it when people don't know that we are related. People say, this guy. They start describing, and I know it's you. And okay. And I listen. They have always good things to say there, so luckily.
Lucky.
In front of me.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah, lucky for them.
You're safe, yeah. At the end of the day, I say, yeah, I know him. And like, really? How do you know him? Because he's my brother. I just love the twist.
Yeah, I do the same.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's a nice. It's a heart's like a feeling. It's like this pride and love,
Yeah.
It's my sister.
Pride.
Yeah.
I feel really grateful that we cross paths and. There's so many things we can learn about loyalty in our interaction, because loyalty is not about. Loyalty is different to being faithful, different to being truthful. It's like something, in my opinion, is something that's like the devotion or something rather that's similar to the and we can be loyal to the respect that we continue to give to our parents or whoever else. We can be. That's the loyalty to maintain the relationship, in my understanding, and it's a really hard work with anybody, because you have a lot. At some point in life, you always have we always have difficult times dealing with others, not just ourselves. With people, and building a relationship is never so easy, whether it's friendship, be it lovers, or like reconnecting with long disconnected family members, or let's say things like this that happen in Western society. In my family, you don't have that. You don't disconnect from the family. It just doesn't exist. This word doesn't even exist probably to say we disconnect. We say we lost contact, but not disconnect. But even if we lost contact, we always tell everybody else, like, oh, my nephews live somewhere there. If you find him, tell him to contact me. It's always like this.
Yeah.
So never a disconnection. So, like, being in a Western society, there is a lot of that loyalty thing, where people have to work really hard to maintain that. But I think for us it came so easily. We don't try, and it's just there. And I can't think of anything else other than maybe in so many other past lives we were really siblings, blood and flesh, siblings reincarnated into here. And I mean, we both come from opposite whatever directions, and sometimes it's awkward to say that you're my adopted brother. It's just weird, because it doesn't feel natural.
Yeah, because I had the same feeling. To me, it's unquestionable, undoubtable.
And I kind of don't want to explain to people sometimes, like, they say, he's your brother. I say, yeah, he is my brother. I like, I don't want to explain, because it feels like we were from the same worm. Isn't it so nice? Isn't it so nice to have this experience in life?
Well, it's actually truer than society. To me, it's a reality in my heart, in my mind. It's a fact. It's sure we weren't born through the same mother, but sure feels like it.
Yeah, because what society conditioned us is to accept what is being being framed out there, that you can only be siblings if you're like this, like this, like this.
Yeah.
Like what I was very, very like aware when after Moses came to the podcast, and I mentioned, because Moses, and he said to me, in African society, men were married, like back then, they were married because they have many women to marry, because it's what was good for their society is that you become a very strong economically, and as a family as well. Like when you farm, you're like you have a lot of people to support each other. And he said, but also during apartheid time, they were killing men.
Yeah. Wow.
So they were killing men. So there were many women left, more women left than men. So there were fewer men. So men were marrying. And but when I asked him, how can women marry multiple men as well? Because I just fly to Africa. Of course, I didn't say that. I mean, African. Like I love the culture. There's so many good things, that's where we come from, really. So it's like in our genetic that something that I like, that I see with my African friends, is this. I mean, I notice as well in me, freedom is in your soul, and no one is going to ever be able to take it away, even if they try to suppress that. And that's what, when I was asking about the women, where they can marry more than one man, he said, oh, well, that's what I don't like, because they don't have that for the woman. And so I think about how the conditioning of society, you see that there is we are so stuck in the idea of marriage institutional is an institutional thing that it's got to be like this. But it's a Western idea, you see. Or it's a doctrine, it's a made belief, something that everyone agrees in a society, and they make a law.
Whether you like it or not. That's,
They make a law for it that it's illegal. The word's illegal, conditioning you to be a criminal if you dare. If you dare to go beyond what's unusual. And I mean, there's a tribe in India. There was a documentary about a tribe in India where the girls have up to 5 husbands. Like, oh la la, I'm up for it. I'm just kidding, but yeah, it's there are societies that are not influenced by the Western institutionalized marriage that you can't divorce, blah blah blah. And also there is now changing, time change where marriage is not a thing anymore. This people have can identify themselves as a chair if they want to.
That's.
I mean.
Yeah.
I thought that the gender with this was when I learned French or Spanish or Italian. I have to think when I look at the table. Are you a female or a male? I'm thinking in my head, how do I address you in terms of gender? The beyond the female and male. I used to just worry about all this stuff. Is this a male or a female now? And now it's not that anymore. Oh, and music is such a fabulous language. How long do you think it takes for someone to become a really, really good guitarist if there were somebody who learned to play guitar at a later stage in their life compared to somebody who grow up with music all their life and hear people playing music at home and they play music since a young age? How long would it be for an adult to sort of learn to be a good guitar, like really good, technically good at playing guitar? It just
takes dedication and time, basically, application, like putting yourself not just in a room, but putting yourself in a real life situation where this is the thing that'll determine. If you're just sitting in your room playing for year after year, you might get technically good, but you'll lack emotive skill. You'll lack that playing with passion,
Right.
Because it's just practice. Whereas you might be, a kid in a school band playing every day with your schoolmates and the kids are there and listening, and then in 2 years you're amazing because you got it's like Kingfish. He's 26.
Yes,
but he can flatten. He flattens me to the ground because he's got real life experience. So to me, it just depends on the individual how passionate they are about what music means to them.
Yeah.
And to me, it's my whole life. Like, music is... And so every day I pick it up. It's like I can learn something new today. This isn't just about today. This is a lifetime of... it's going to take me a lifetime to continue,
Yes.
with it. It's not about, tomorrow I'll be so good that I can do... No, today I'm just doing what I love to do and putting my heart and soul in it. And that's what makes me great.
Oh, wow. There was one time...
One note I can play, if I can play that and it touches somebody, that I can put the guitar down.
That's so nice. There was one time a young man came here and he drummed. He's very good at drum kit. But very loud. He was so loud. He was young. And of course I have other professional drummers here as well. And when I say, oh, he's good, and they say, yeah, he's good. But no one could bear him. He was so loud, and everyone was complaining about him being so loud. And at the end of it, when somebody else took over the drum kit eventually, well, we were all relieved. And you know, musicians tend to be quite polite. When someone's playing, even if it's loud, they try to just like, they have. It's a beautiful thing to see. They still show respect to try not to, you know, put people down, and just like they just go to the back and say, oh, it's so loud, I can't handle it. It's too loud. It's not a good energy. And so when somebody else took over the drum kits, and I have a chat with this young man, I say, everyone thinks you're really good at it. Do you have a band? And so I just started, because he's somebody that I don't know, just came along to the jam, and we talk, and he got so, it's like I just injected him with something. He just pumped up straight away with big excitement of the story, and like, I want to be famous, and with this agitation, like shaking their arms, and like, I want to be famous, like he knew he really want to be famous, right? But sort of hollow desperation. Then I didn't understand that it was quite hollow. Now I can describe it because I understand how he was. I understand how to put it in words. And about maybe 8 months to a year from there on, and I saw him working at the, you know where Repco is in Byron, and now it's closed. The one next to it, the tire
Sings,
yeah, place, and he was working there, and say hello, like very briefly, have a chit chat. That was the last time I saw him until today. That was also the second time, and I say to him, "How's music?" And he just like have this huge disappointment or shrug, like this. I said, what do you mean? It's like, no, I don't want to know about it. Finish. I said, but I thought you want to be a like really good drummer, really famous drummer. I don't want to know about it. So from someone who's super excited to not wanting to have anything to do with it. And all I could think was, because I've seen with some other friends, when the ego overrides everything, it just, nothing ever comes good. It collapses, and until you don't want to know anything about it anymore. Do you come across a lot of this
in my
issue
life,
with ego?
Yeah, I have, and
how do you deal with that? Because you have to put up with that.
yeah, like for example, I mean, not long ago, I was jamming with some people, and the guy was playing so loud that I when that happens, I just play quieter.
Yeah.
And then if I still can't deal with it, I'll just. Yesterday, actually, it was yesterday. I just said, thank you all I really appreciate that, and I've got to go now. So I'm like you said, I'm respectful and I excuse myself, because it's like, if it hurts, I don't want to do it. Do you know what I mean? And if I'm not doing it with the right intention, then I don't want to do it. So I feel blessed that I've always had this deep love for music in its purest sense, you know, that it's not about what I can achieve, it's about what I can touch, you know. It's like how open I can be. Like I said a few hours ago, if I can move out of my way, my mind, and just be a clear vessel for the creativity, then I feel like I've achieved something, you know. Because then I'm not. Because to me, I don't want to hurt anybody.
Because it's not about
I don't want to hurt
being in a big
I want
crowd,
people to feel something that's going to enhance them and bring them up. And even if it's a sad thing, If you sometimes a tear of sadness is a release, and it's a beautiful thing, you know. It's and even anger can be an expression in a powerful, positive way.
Yeah.
But it's enforced with positivity, because there's no emotions that are wrong. It's just our interpretation of things that distorts the essence, you know. So, but of course, to me, I mean, you can hear a lot of reggae music, for example, and they might be going through it like, oh my baby, but you feel happy.
Yeah.
You know, because it's the intention,
Yes.
and it's the intention to transform the negative into positive, to transform the experiences we've had in life into something creative and positive, you know. So to me, that's why I said before as well, it's not only my privilege to be a musician, it's my duty to the God, the Creator, and to all people and beings. Because when I play on the street, I play to the trees and the bats and the moon, and so it's my duty to life in general, to, with the gift that I have of the passion for being connected with music, is to be a vessel for it in the purest sense, you know.
Yes.
And to not interfere with that. And sometimes, I have to move in ways that I'm not sure about, but okay, I'll go and try that again, and I'll give it another go, and it's still not work for me, so I won't go to the jam anymore, because it doesn't work for me. I'm not saying it's good or bad, it's wrong. People are having fun doing what they're doing. They want to play the way they play. That's beautiful, it's great. It's not for me, so, and not saying that I'm better or worse, it's just it's energetically, I have a vision of how I want to channel my creativity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's all about, when you're playing with other people, the most important thing is to create harmony.
Yeah, sitting in the pocket with people, just sitting in that space of, okay, we're humming here. You know, it's like, well, it feels good.
Yeah.
And then like, okay, and one nod can be like that person just starts or do a solo or something, you know, their expression in that way. Then, you know, you become psychically connected with people when you're playing music.
Yes.
In a really big way.
Yeah. I was at last Sunday market in town. There was this girl singing, and she sounds so good. It's just her and her guitar. She sounds so wonderfully, like, pleasant. Because the big stage, you have two people. The bass was driving us nuts. I was with Charles, you know. Charles, he's also a sound engineer, professionally, and we both, I said, this is driving me crazy. It was so unpleasant, so loud. Oh, you hear the bass, it's just operating and everything. It was like the girl starting to sing. She's playing the sax, she's playing the flute. You hear nothing. You don't hear her vocals as well. And so it's just very distorted. It's like, oh, hear me, I can play the bass, I can play the bass. It's almost like that kind of statement. And it was lacking harmony. But by the way, I'm just whinging. When I think about harmonization, you know,
it's relative. You know,
when you mention reggae, like, I've got, because you say, oh, when you play reggae, people, you know, just dance, even if you're sad or angry. You missed out. Natalie Rice came back to town. She was in Brunswick the other night. I went to see her on Sunday. So good. And I was thinking of you on the stage, the same stage when you were playing reggae there with the band from New Zealand. What was the band again?
Catch a Fire.
Pardon?
Which band?
The one, the guys from New Zealand, but New Zealand or Melbourne? Was playing
Steel Pulse.
Yes.
The reggae band for their Jamaican UK.
Not that one, not Steel Pulse. The other one.
I was playing.
Yes, you were playing.
From the Gold Coast.
Oh yes.
Yeah, when that was a few years ago now.
Yeah, and I was thinking of you because the guitarist, Natalie's Rice guitar, there's the drummer is a beautiful girl, beautiful playing, and then there's a bass player on her left. She's at the center, singing, and she also plays the jam guitar, of course, the djembe and the guitar. And to his right, where you were standing, play your guitar, it was her guitars. And I was like thinking of you, and then they were like jumping, and throwing kicks in the air and singing. And I was just thinking of you, like, oh, it would be so nice because he's on your spot. And the guitarists, they're so sweet. And I was like mesmerized. I was dancing so beautifully. The vibe, it was reggae, of course. So the vibe was just so nice. And this girl, not the girl anymore. She's a beautiful lady, Natalie, right?
Yeah, I've worked for her many times.
She still looks 16. Unbelievable. She looks so good. So she feels really beautiful. Her presence is very beautiful.
I wanted to see. I was working. When it was like
you were
2
in
nights ago.
Brisbane.
Yeah.
You were working. That's why.
Yeah, I wanted to see her. I actually tried to contact her, but I couldn't get through because I thought, I wanted to jam with her.
And the next day they flew to Adelaide.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember she was on tour with Santana many years ago, and I got a job working for Santana, and she was I was at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre, and I just had lunch with the band, and then I was coming back to do my job on stage, and then Carlos walks around the corner and I bump into him. I'm like. And then Natalie walked past and she said, "Oh, Carlos, this is my friend Juan from Australia."
Oh, so cute.
And she actually ended up jamming with Carlos.
Oh.
And like, I thought, oh wow, she's doing what I've dreamed of doing, and so good. I'm so proud of her,
She's got such an
and
amazing...
then I wanted to ask her, like I was trying to get in touch with her, saying, "Do you remember when you jam with Carlos? Well, I want to jam with you."
Oh yeah, why
but
not?
I didn't get in touch with her.
But she's so beautiful. She's really, like, I mean, her presence, not beyond the music, the message that she sends to her music is very, like, she's an activist.
Yeah, she walks the talk. Yeah.
Yes. And you feel that she doesn't just sing bullshit. Because she gives some speeches, an introduction to the song, and like I wanted more to listen to them more because of how true she was with what she's singing, and you feel that, and I really love it that at the end of it they put Bob Marley's song while they were packing up, and she said, "Oh, do you think it's okay with you guys if like I come off the stage and come dancing with you in the audience?" And it was so beautiful, of course. And I was just so in love with this guitarist. It's me. Beautiful man. I didn't even catch. I think his name was Duke, because Natalie introduced the band member. They're beautiful. It was a beautiful band. I don't go often out to see live bands anymore unless I go with you or always with someone like a musician friend because we have something in common. Music is so good. Oh. What are you doing other than on your daily life? When you're not working so hard, when you're not playing music, when you don't go for a walk, what do you do other than eating really healthy and, meditating?
Sleep.
Good one. We need to sleep.
There's not much time left after all that.
Yeah. What would it be to you if you were absolutely forbidden, completely deprived from ever practicing any form of art, and you cannot meditate? Can you imagine a life
don't want to
without
imagine.
that?
I don't want to imagine that.
Me too. I wouldn't know what to do.
No,
I think I wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Can you?
Music saved my life many times.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I can say, and I wouldn't want to be without it.
not without guitars for sure.
No,
For
my
sure.
guitar, I sleep in the bed next to it.
Yeah.
It's always near me.
Oh,
It's in the car now.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
Who would you like to ever jam with?
Well, I
for
just
somebody
mentioned
who died.
two.
No,
There's
no,
Carlos.
no. For some, no, Carlos. Aside from Carlos,
Yeah.
someone who is very significant figure of a musician that is no longer alive.
Oh, that's no longer alive.
Yeah, who would it be?
Wow.
Pick 2 or 3.
Okay.
Tell me number 1 first. The priority. Number 1 first.
B.B. King.
Oh, I would want to sit right next to you both and just be so lost in a trance.
And Aretha Franklin.
Oh my God, all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
Beautiful, amazing, wonderful.
And third one would be Raul Racau. He was the drummer from Santana.
Oh,
He was the percussionist,
wow.
but amazing. Had such an influence on me.
Wow.
Yeah. And I met him as well. He's a beautiful man, and yeah.
Okay, for the ones that are still here.
Well,
Of course,
Carlos and Natalie. Like I
Natalie
called,
Rice,
you know, last week I sent
Okay,
trying
give
to find.
me 5 of those.
Okay, so
5.
Carlos, Natalie, John McLaughlin.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, but you work with John.
Yes.
And you've jammed with John.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet, yeah.
You go with John all the time to work. You haven't managed. Would you do with Tom Jones? Because you.
Oh yeah, I'd love to jam with Tom.
Yeah.
Sir Tom.
You've taken him to airports.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've spoken to him. You've had times with him.
And last but not least is Jose Feliciano.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, he's amazing. Oh. But you would want Kingfish as well.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah. But there's not enough fingers on the hand.
Okay.
All the people that I want to play with, I just named the first 5 that came to my head.
Oh my, yeah, they are beautiful. Yeah. Oh, Jose Feliciano is so great. Wow.
And I've had the great pleasure to say thank you to those people.
He was in Lismore way back.
Long time
a
ago.
long time ago.
Yeah, that's when I was working for him. Yeah.
Oh, you were working.
Did the Lismore and Twin Towns. That side of the tour. So,
That's so good. Would you jam with Taj Mahal?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anybody like that, I would, because you're talking about people who are like.
Stanley Clark.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
I mean, I'd be, but I'd be like, I'm jamming with them.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So many incredible, just so many incredible African American musicians that it's just in my list. I mean, I always say to, sometimes there was over 10 years ago, I went to the lighthouse with some friends on a sunset. And they say, yeah, what would it be if the lighthouse was not the lighthouse and used for something else? And I say, I would call Michael Jackson from the dead and come and stay here and then sleep here and then enjoy this whatever. I mean, Michael Jackson could be anywhere, but I would just, if I have the privilege, him, Michael Jackson, I just really cannot imagine anyone ever going to be like him.
No, he was unique, and there's
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, now you're saying things. Yeah,
so
they're the people. These people are just timeless, immortal. Just
originality.
Yeah, and Jimi
Hendrix.
Yeah.
Oh. Can you play with your teeth like Jimi Hendrix?
No, I tried it once and it was like, no.
Oh my God! So incredible! Wow, what an experience! Where has it been in Byron that you work with musicians that somehow is the most memorable and also the worst experience ever?
So playing or working for people?
Both,
Okay.
in terms of playing and working.
Working with steel poles at
Steel
the beach
poles, the
hotel the
best.
first time it was the highest experience for me.
Yeah.
And subsequently I got the tour with them last year. So
Yes.
they're just, to me, it's like working with Bob Marley.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're the grandfathers of reggae music, you know.
Wow.
And the worst, I think working at a reggae festival in Ballina and being fired because I was outspoken about something.
Oh.
Yeah. But I stuck to it's like the guy was the promoter and he hadn't really done his job right, so there was hardly anybody there.
Oh.
And I arrived to start my job. And I said, I'll need my lanyard. And he said, there's no lanyards. And I said, well, okay, can you let the security guard know that I'm going to be coming in? You know what? Don't like your attitude. No, you can go. And I said, man, this isn't what reggae's about. And, you know, you're uptight like this, and this is not reggae, you know?
Yeah.
And that was my experience of that.
Wow.
And I started feeling like I should have been more compassionate to him or something, and I shouldn't have said what I said, but it was what it was. And I've seen him again, and we've been, you know, I think he was just so stressed out. Yeah, he was just so stressed out because, and I thought about it, it's like you spend all this money that you've probably loaned to put on a big reggae event.
Is it the one where Siggy Marley came? Years and years ago.
I think it was, yeah, it was in Ballina at
the
yes, that was the one, yeah.
Because you know that I was walking towards and I was taking my camera. Yeah. I was just going for photography and I didn't have the tickets to go.
Yeah.
And somebody came out, a gentleman came out and meet me like sort of close to the area and to the stage, and he said, where are you going? I said, I'm just walking around looking at the riverside. He said, are you going to the festival? I said, no, I don't have a ticket. He pulled out ticket he just bought. He decided not to go in, gave me the ticket to go in. It's just beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
cool,
a great experience. So wow, that festival, that's years, 2000 what?
Oh,
6?
Long time ago.
7?
Yeah, it's 20 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. Super long. Wow. Well, darling, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry about the sound. It's going to be so
I've enjoyed being here.
messy later. But I really enjoyed our conversation. And as you can see, it's very important to me.
It's mutual.
And I'm really grateful to have a conversation with you being my family. I mean, I was like, I don't know what to ask because, you know, I see you every day and I don't have scripted questions, but I'm so glad because, you know, this experience, we never have so much time because you're always so busy as well. So, and when we do catch up with each other, always with jamming and other people and stuff as well. But
life's going on, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for everything,
Thank
Theo.
you.